leaving the friendly confines of Camden Yards, but they are going to leave for a West Coast trip with a little pep in their step. Why? Well, they have dominated the 9-game homestand, and the Orioles so far 6-2. In addition, they've already won all 3 series. So for the Orioles today, could be a shining ending to this homestand. They want to take all 3, a sweep. The Orioles try and stay hungry. A day game is next. The Orioles on Masson, and Camden Yards is the site. And it is a beautiful day for a baseball game as the Blue Jays and the Orioles are going to wrap up this 3-game stand, the first time these teams have met this season. And for the Orioles, it is a chance for their sweep of the Jays here today. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. For the Orioles last night, another one-run win. They're getting back into that mode where they left off last year, winning these one-run ball games. In large part, at the end of it, it is all about Jim Johnson, who has become a premier closer, if not the premier closer. Jim Johnson is 29 years old. He got his first save in 2008. He has gone on to become the closer, and 51 saves last year. Only 5 pitchers have ever reached that 50-save mark. He's got 29 consecutive. That is a record still running. The franchise record for the Orioles held by Randy Myers at 34. During that 29-game stand, a 3.2 ERA, 4 walks, 22 strikeouts, opponents hitting only 179. Jim, as Buck Showalter said today, he didn't miss any of the beats in getting to the bullpen, going through the steps, and he's made it.
Well, he really has. You know, I mean, years ago they brought him up as a starter. He really wasn't ready to come up and start. Went back, worked on his stuff. But if you go all the way back to, the end of September 7th, 2011, nobody has more saves, 66 out of 69. So not only the 29 in a row, 8 out of 8 this year. He got the win in the first game of this series because he came and pitched the 9th inning. And I, to be honest, I was talking to him today before the game. I said, I've never seen your stuff as sharp. He said, you know what? You're always looking for that window, that little release point. Didn't have it early, but he certainly has it now. And remember what Lou Piniella used to always say when he didn't have a closer like Jim Johnson? You got to win the games you're supposed to win. The Orioles win the games they're supposed to win because of Jim Johnson.
And the Orioles now have won 100 consecutive ball games in which they have had a lead after 7, and Jim Johnson is a big part of that. A new starter for the Orioles will be on the mound today. When we come back, we'll take a look at his career, majors and minors. Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Glorious afternoon for baseball here at Camden Yards, and the Orioles. A glorious day for their starter, 25-year-old right-hander Josh Stinson. There you see the career record in the minors, 42 and 49. In the majors, 20 games, only a couple of starts. He is 0-2 with a 4.43, but really not much as far as game coverage is concerned for those numbers. He gets the start today, and we'll tell you about his travels as we move along. Take a look at our train game time temperature. It is 72 degrees under clear skies to start the ball game today. Train is celebrating its 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Starting lineup for the Jays. Trying to avoid a sweep today. Davis, Bonifacio, Bautista, Encarnacion, Cabrera, Arancibia, Rasmus, Laurie, and Izturis. This series, not a lot of hitting for the Jays. Encarnacion, his numbers.
And our scouting report, Josh Stinson, well, stopgap. Somebody had a pitch today because of the doubleheader, the split doubleheader on Saturday. And it's going to be Josh, but again, if he pitches well, you never know. Walk on the wild side. Look at all the numbers. About 4 to a little bit over 4 walks per 9 inning, a little bit too much. And they said, well, how are you going to pitch? He said, well, a lot of sinkers, occasional slider, maybe a changeup. So there you go in the minor leagues. Again, you know, he talked about he was in spring training with Milwaukee, claimed by Oakland, and then the Orioles picked him up. So again, he's very young, as you mentioned, Gary, and he's got a power arm, and if you can sink the ball, great way to pitch in this ballpark.
Well, Stinson will get an opportunity here, and Buck Showalter said publicly if he pitches well in this ball game, he goes on the West Coast trip. And the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Rajah Davis back in the starting lineup, playing in left field. He's got a 4-game hit streak. Lends great speed to this lineup. In the air to right, Markakis will get over and under and put it away.
Now look at the Oriole defense on this 12:30 game. Gold Gloves in the outfield. McLeod, Jones, and Markakis around the infield. Machado, great defender at third for 20-year-old kid. Hardy won a Gold Glove. Flaherty's been playing well. Davis over at first, and Taylor Teagard initially starting to do the catch and throw guy behind the plate for the Orioles this afternoon.
Here's Emilio Bonifacio. Bonifacio's only had a couple of at-bats in this series, going 0 for 2. And he will take the pitch for a strike. We talked about the travel tribulations, if you will, although they ended up right where he wanted to be for the right-hander Josh Stinson. Pitch will miss outside. He was a 37th round pick of the Mets in 2006, played in the majors with the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. On March 29, the Brewers put him on waivers, claimed by the Oakland A's. He was sent to Double-A. The A's waived him less than a week later. The Orioles claimed him on April 4. He went to Norfolk, went 0-1 with a .77. Gave up 1 earned run, 11 2/3 innings for the Orioles at Triple-A. He was supposed to start last Friday at Triple-A. Game got rained out. The Orioles flew into Baltimore, thought they might need somebody for the doubleheader. They didn't. They sent him to High A Frederick. He got the call at the Keys to come back 11 o'clock on Monday night to come back and join the Orioles. So here he is. We thank the Baltimore Sun for that rundown. That will go to Markakis. He's got it. Bonifacio is retired, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, John Gibbons of the Jays got to be a little bit happy. Finally, they worked the count into a hitting count, and Bonifacio, who's been chasing, he actually hits a rocket, but hit it to the wrong guy. Gold Glover out in right, Gold Glover in center, Gold Glover in left.
So 2 outs for Stinson, and obviously with the heart pounding, the adrenaline running, and the butterflies there, if he could have a good first inning, it'd make all the difference in the world, one would think. Pitch is taken down low by Bautista, looking for his first hit in this series. And Stinson, a 1-0 count. Struggling Jays offense. The Orioles trying to keep it that way for one more and gain the sweep. Wow.
Yeah,
major bender.
Yep. Well, he's got a Chris Tillman. Again, when you're wild, this is a big, just a curveball, fastball count, and it's a good one. But
that
again,
one will miss 2-1.
But a very, it's a very easy wind up. Again, he's 6'4", Chris Tillman 6'5". So how do you maybe get a little more compact? Not much of a leg kick.
2-1 delivery, grounded down to third base. Manny Machado. He'll make the play. Welcome back to the majors, Josh Stinson. retires the side in order. The Orioles lineup when we come back. Here at Camden Yards, really gorgeous day, so shouldn't have much of an effect on the balls put up in the air, at least at the start of the game. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. McLeod, Machado, and Marquez, Jones, Davis, and Hardy, Raimo, Flaherty, and Teagarden. Manny Machado's had a big series, the 3 for 6, 2 RBIs against Toronto.
And our scouting report on Brandon Morrow. Well, Jekyll and Hyde, he's had 4 starts. 2 have been good, every other one. He can be dominant. I mean, did strike out 17, pitched a 1-hitter against the Rangers. Last year, 10-7, great numbers. And again, what does he need to do? He needs to pitch well. They need to get him some runs, which is something they haven't done. And he needs to put the brakes on to their 2-game losing streak. Big game for the Jays, as it is the Orioles today.
And Morrow will face McLeod leading it off. Orioles leadoff batter. And he will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. He's had an 0 for 6 against the starter for the Jays. 273 mark and the 1 for 3 so far in this series. Laurie moves in at third base, not even with the bag. McLeod will take that pitch, and that's for a strike. Morrow gets it to 0-2.
Yeah, and again, he can throw up to 97. Scouting reports have him from 95 to 97. I watched the game up in against the Yankees up in Toronto, and again the velocity wasn't very good. Didn't make a lot of good pitches early. There's a little bit of extra. So again, he goes 88, 91, 95, 97. He's got a splitter. He's got a sharp slider.
Steve Walker will watch, hoping he doesn't have to go to his bullpen early. The pitching coach, they need Morrow to get going. 0-2 in the 4 starts he's had. And McLeod will take the heat. That'll be up and in. He has made 4 starts here at Camden Yards and has a 1-2 record here with a 4 ERA against the Orioles. Lifetime, he is 3-3. And some new leather being acquired here by Arancibia, the catcher. Last year, Morrow was only one of 4 pitchers with an ERA under 3, with Price, Verlander, Weaver, and himself at that 2.96 mark. Speed delivery is going to miss, so the count worked along here by Nate McLeod, 2-2.
Yeah, that's a little splitter. He'll use that against lefties. Also, that hard slider down at their back ankle.
2-2 delivery on the way and taken, and it's 3-2.
Oh my goodness! Boy, you want those pitches. Nate, of course, doesn't. Comes in on just a shy of getting on 40% of the time, and might have had the edge, but apparently not. Like DeMuro.
So the 3-2 delivery on the way, and McLeod will put it to center field. Hit it hard. Rasmus back. Warning track wall. Can't get it. It'll go up and over, and a ground rule double. So on a 3-2 pitch, Nate McLeod sends it 400 feet away and has a 2-bagger.
Yeah, you can take away the rubberized warning track just a high fastball in the middle of the plate, and we've seen Rasmus plays very, very shallow. It's a very small ballpark. If it doesn't go over the fence, probably going to be a triple. So again, they went to the crushed stone, the warning track all around Camden Yards, and the ball still bounces over.
Well, the Orioles are going to get a chance right away, and Manny Machado coming up. Manny's had the 3 for 6, 2 RBIs in this series, hitting .268 overall, and a runner at second to kick it off. As Torres, the shortstop, will hold McLouth, and the breaking ball is a strike on the outside corner. For Machado, he's hitting .400 with runners in scoring position. He's gone 8 for 20 and has 2 home runs in these situations. Yet another sparkling number for the Oriole third baseman. And inside miss.
Yeah, and his mission, and we see the Orioles, everybody says, why do they win the 1-run games, the 2-run games, the extra inning games? Well, bullpen and whatever, but it's also playing the game the right way, and that's hit the ball to the right side here. Try to get on top. Hit something, advance the runner.
1-1 delivery to him, and that's taken for a strike. Manny Machado hasn't agreed with either of the strike calls, and it's 1-2. Number of day games today. Oakland's going to be playing at Boston, rounding out their series. Then both Oakland and the Orioles are going to head to Oakland to start a 4-game set in Oakland tomorrow. Cleveland will be at the White Sox today. Seattle at Houston in a day game. 1-2 delivery towards the hole. They'll hold the runner as Torres makes the play, and Machado does not get him moved up.
Take a look at the defense. Davis, Rasmus, and Batista. Lowry, Torres. All kinds of different shortstops. Bonifacio moves from right field where he played the other night to second base. Encarnacion is pretty much a fixture over at first, and Aaron Sevilla starting games 1 and 3 here in Baltimore.
And here is Nick Markakis. Nick with the .305 overall, 2 for 8 in the series. He too gets an opportunity here. He's hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. 1 down, and the pitch will come inside to it. Markakis has hit in 16 of the last 20. He's had multi-hit games in 7 of the 11 home games, because here at Camden Yards, Nick Markakis is absolutely tearing it up with a .409 batting average. 1-0 count, and that's going to be taken for a ball. Take a look at our AT&T Mobility trivia fact. Markakis with the 18 hits at home, second most in the majors. Sin Soo Choo with 21, just 1 ahead of him. Nick at 184 on the road, so he'll be trying to pick that up in the 11 games the Orioles have coming up away from Camden Yards. There's a great off-speed delivery for a strike.
No, not afraid to throw it at any count. Nick's looking fastball. He just kind of wasn't a great splitter, but it's kind of floated in there. You still haven't seen his best fastball, so you'd like to take advantage of it.
2-ball, 1 strike count. McLouth with the double. On at second. 2-1 delivery. Markakis in the air. Left center. Davis in left. Runner tags. Davis will make the throw all the way through, and that will hold the runner. So the Orioles unable to move McLouth up, and now there are 2 down.
Yeah, and again, the inability for Machado to hit the ball to the right side. Otherwise, he 1-0. Or maybe he would have pitched differently, but it does put a lot of pressure on you. First inning, you're trying to find out what kind of stuff you have, what the strike zone is, what's working, what's not, and to be able to for the Orioles to get a run against Morrow without having to get a base hit, it would have been a lot easier to do if Manny had been able to hit the ball to the right side.
So Adam Jones will try and get it done. Adam, 2 for 8 in the homestand, but a big .354 batting average coming into the ball game. 15 RBIs, and that one blocked.
Yeah, take a look right here. I mean, look at the numbers again. I mean, it all filters out against Morrow. He's 11 for 27. So again, you can see they down and away, low and away. That's the old pitchers meetings. Anything else? Trouble for Brandon Morrow against Adam Jones.
.393 average and 3 home runs lifetime for Jones off Morrow. 1-0 delivery, and there's that off-speed breaking ball again that's in there for a strike. 1-1. Morrow making his 10th career start and his 17th appearance against the Orioles. He has not given up more than 2 earned runs to the O's over his last 3 starts. 17 innings, 5 runs in those last 3 appearances against the Orioles. 1-1 delivery on the way, came in on the fist. 1-2.
There's that. At least he's getting up into the mid 90s at 93 there.
Orioles with another chance at a sweep and a chance to have just a glorious homestand. 6-2 during this homestand, where they've averaged 5 runs a ball game. Starters winning 3, losing 2. The bullpen 3 wins and 4 saves. Morrow, a long time, comes set. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and Jones will take that one down the line. That could fall in. It's a base hit. It'll go to the wall, scoring McLeod. Jones into second base with another 2-out RBI, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
Well, you know, we showed you that graph about 1 for 9 away, and that's where this ball is. But what Adam has done so much better. I mean, check out the location of this ball. It's down and away, 2 strikes. Do you cut your swing down? That he does. And when he does, he slices it down into the corner. It's going to kind of fade away from Jose Bautista for an easy double. So back-to-back, not back-to-back, but 2 doubles here in the first.
And Adam Jones gives the Orioles the lead. What a start he is having. He's got 16 runs batted in. It may be a lot to say, but honestly, I think right now Adam Jones is underestimated in his ability to play this game.
Well,
I mean, he's got a Gold Glove, and I know he's hitting and things, but right now he's been overshadowed by Chris Davis's big power numbers to start the year.
Well, there's something to be said about that. I think, you know, you've been around the game. I've been around the game forever, it seems like. And you knew that if he really focuses, which he's been able to do, it's just a matter of time, because he can, you know, he's a 5-tool player, and you don't see too many guys like that, and we've seen it. I think, you know, we've been doing games together for years, and, you know, I used to chase that pitch and maybe foul it off and then throw the slider away and be out, and then all of a sudden, like 3 years ago, all of a sudden a little bit more controlled swing with 2 strikes. Home runs have come up. Better outfielder, you know, a little bit more, a better base runner last year, most steals. So
and he's doing it all.
Yeah, he can, and he actually, and this tells you why they signed him long term, is he can be better. Yep. And he's showing that this year.
Chris Davis trying to pick up an RBI now, not diminishing the start he's had, obviously, as he's got 22 runs batted in and hitting at .382 on the year. By the way, Adam Jones now has 5 2-out RBIs on the season, and that ball lifted. He got under it, but it's going to be fouled down the line. Though Davis with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Chris coming into the day second in average in the American League, tied for the home run lead. He is second in RBIs, and he has the 8th best average with runners in scoring position. And he's got Jones out there in that position right now. Alex Gordon of Kansas City is hitting .556 with runners in scoring position, leading the league. Swung on and missed. The tag will be put on by Aaron Sebia to finish it off. Morrow gets the strikeout. The Orioles get the run on 2 hits, leaving 1 on, and the O's are up 1-0. by Luna. Call today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-241. Luna. With the pony on and the sippy cup in hand and watching a ball game. And the Orioles lead it. And the pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner. Encarnacion, April. Last year, this year. Change the words to the song. What a difference a year makes. And that's fouled away. And a 2-strike count.
Yeah, we can do a September song a long time from May to September. But, of course, he hit 7 in August and 7 in September. Remember when Brady Andrews hit 50? He said, well, you know, you just kind of have to do what Palmeiro did, which is basically hit 7 a month. And I go, oh, that's it? That's all you got to do? Well, that's what Edmund did last. It was a little sinker.
And probably trying to do everything, as we mentioned last night, because this team does not have Reyes playing. Bautista's not hitting. They're not scoring runs. They are either last or next to last in almost all of the offensive categories, which is just amazing for this Toronto team, even early. They're already 5.5 games out behind Boston. The Orioles a game behind now with a 12-8 record. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Simpson's pitch grounded down to third base, played by Machado.
Yeah, just check out the ground balls and pop-ups. And that's sinker love. He said, I'm just going to try to sink it, throw a lot of strikes. Against only 4 hitters, but he's done a nice job with that.
It's not too late to start enjoying Major League savings over the cost of single game tickets via VIP orange carpet holder. Exclusive access to events and to the ballpark. Skip the ticket lines and upgrade your summer. Details 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com/season. Here's Melky Cabrera, who will take the pitch outside for a ball. Cabrera, the DH, has had a 1 for 8 and got a problem with the glasses. Problem is he doesn't want them.
Yeah, first time I saw somebody wearing sunglasses hitting was Jose Canseco, where we're going out into Oakland. In fact, he struck out off of Greg Olson. It's one of the 3 guys that Olson struck out in the 9th inning when the Orioles pitched a no-hitter.
I asked Wardy about that. He said he could never wear sunglasses when he was at the plate. A lot of hitters do nowadays. Taken down low, and a 3-0 count on Melky Cabrera. Cabrera 7 for his last 21, one of the few in the lineup hitting. The 3-0 pitch to him, and that will catch the outside corner.
Now, Mike Wardick didn't tell you that he wears his sunglasses at night, did he?
That's his business.
He penned that song.
3-1 delivery outside, and he walked it. Those are the kind of things better left to tweeting. So 1 on and 1 down here in the second inning. Aaron Sevilla coming up.
Or as you said a couple of years ago, twittering.
Or twittering.
Yeah.
Whatever works. Stenson now out of the stretch with a runner on at first base. Aaron Sevia's had a 1 for 5. He and Blanco have shared the duties behind the plate. Does have 7 home runs and 13 RBIs. Cabrera off first base, and the pitch is there for a strike.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, walk on the wild side. So, you know, again, he may have made some adjustments. You look at his windup, you look at Chris Tillman's windup. Again, a little different from the stretch, but from his basic windup is very compact, probably trying to get a better line to home plate and throw more strikes.
Does there and gets the foul ball.
I mean, if you are going to, I mean, this is always a tough park to pitch in. It's one of the great hitting parks in baseball. But if you are going to pitch to contact, I don't know of a much better team to do it in the American League or in baseball with the kind of defense the Orioles throw out there.
And Toronto doesn't take. I mean, they're not one of the teams that waits around. They go at it. 0-2 count. Cabrera going nowhere, and a breaking ball, a big one that misses outside. Teagarden with a nice catch. 1-2.
So there you go. And this is, again, a career with 2 strikes. You can see fastball, slider. That was a curveball, and it's a good one. Well, again, sinker, slider, and most of those guys end up as relievers. But again, like Doyle Alexander, that's how he came up. Became a very good starter because he added a changeup and a curveball.
Yeah, Doyle came over in the Frank Robinson trade, and he would go on to be a very competent major league starter. But early on, they put about 7-8 lefties in there. Third time through the order, he struggled. Then he came up with a changeup and a curveball. Became very effective.
1-2 the count. Arancibia waiting on it. He'll put it in the air to center field. Jones going back. Arancibia and goodbye. Home run. He is now the American League leader in homers. Arancibia gets his 8th, 2 RBIs, and it is a 2-1 ball game.
Well, he's got tremendous power, and again 1 and 2. Josh Stinson gets more. He gets, number one, he gets the ball up. Number two, he gets more of the plate than he wanted, and it's the kind of power that these guys have. We saw it with Encarnacion. We saw Batista on Friday. It went about 450. So I mean, that's pretty much center cut. And on a day game, the wind was blowing in the first 2 nights. Today, it didn't appear that that's the case. A little bit warmer.
And a 2-1 lead for the Jays. That is the one thing they have been doing, even with their offensive struggles, hitting home runs. Came in 5th in the league in homers. And the pitch away to Rasmus. So the walk costly by Stinson as that run comes in ahead of Arancibia. Rasmus with a 4-game hit streak. He's had a 2 for 8 with an RBI in the series, and over the top of that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles had to make a move today to make room to get Josh Stinson on, and Alex Burnett was optioned out. Burnett just here for a couple of days in case extra pitching was needed, and now he's gone out again, and the Orioles may or may not make another move after the ball game, depending on Stinson's performance here. Colby Rasmus, 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Oh, terrific pitches. Well, obviously disappointing. Did not want to walk. Cabrera didn't want to throw the home run, but he comes back and makes those 3 outstanding pitches, back-to-back changeups. About as good as you can throw. You can see again that slow motion camera. You just turn it over. You pronate your hand a little left to right if you're right-handed, and the ball just dives down and away.
His only other major league start came back in 2012. In fact, in October, the final series for Milwaukee against San Diego. He lasted 4 innings, gave up a run on 3 hits, the home run by Kristen Orfia. He did not strike anybody out in that start. He does have a save to his credit at the major league level. He got that against Florida back in September of 2011.
Well, how about the Oakland A's? The Orioles will go, as you mentioned, out to the West Coast. They've scored 119 runs. They've scored more runs this year so far than any team in the American League.
That ball is put up in the air to center. Jones backing up on it. And Lowry is retired. However, Toronto will get the lead. Arancibia delivers a leading 8th homer. Good for 2 runs batted in. Of Parkville, Maryland. Jim's already won $500 for being selected. You get $100 more for every Orioles hit during the game, and an extra $500 for any Orioles home run in the 5th inning. For your chance to play the Maryland Lottery Hit It Big contestant, just play a 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles and enter. Wieters gets the day off today, traveling west, scheduled to be in the ball game against Oakland tomorrow night. Tea Garden behind the plate for the Orioles. Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy with an 0 for 6 in the series. Morrow's delivery to him will come inside and a 2-0 count.
Well, you hope that a guy like Morrow, as good as he can be, is going to get him started. 5 for 15 with a couple of home runs and a double. So maybe he'll get a pitch to hit here, which he does.
That'll go to center. Rasmus on his horse. Warning track, and he's got it. Hardy retired. Well, let's open up our notebook here today and take a look west, if you will. Talking about those A's, where the Orioles are going next for 4 games. They are 1-4 currently on their road trip. They've got another game today taking on the Red Sox. They've scored those 119 runs in 21 games. They lead the majors. And Cespedes has been out. The DL has got a left-hand problem. With him in the lineup, they've gone 8-2. Without him, they've gone 4-5. He's scheduled to go to Sacramento on Friday for rehab, and the A's are saying they expect him back for Sunday's game against the Orioles.
A terrific young player. Boy, does he have some bat. He can do everything. He can run the bases. He's a great outfielder. So
Nolan on the check swing, and Reimold will be retired. Bonifacio going out to get it. 2 down in a hurry. Today's Masson word of the day is warehouse. Text warehouse 29292 for your chance to meet and greet with Buck Showalter, and stay tuned all week long for more chances to win with Masson. There are 2 down. Here's Ryan Flaherty. 3 hits, 36 at bats, and a strike from Morrow. Morrow comes into the game having surrendered the 5th most hits in the American League, with 30 over the 21 innings that he has worked coming into the ball game. Outside, he's had a lot of people on base. Hits, 6 walks in the 21 innings, striking out 15.
Yeah, well, good against the Indians, bad against the Tigers, good against Kansas City, not good against the Yankees.
1-1 delivery. The opponent's batting average has skyrocketed early on. Last year, opponents hit .214 against him. They're hitting .333, and it doesn't matter right or left have the exact same average.
Well, his velocity is not where it's been in years past, and using his other pitches. And you know, against Ryan Flaherty, it's we throw it softer because he's a good fastball hitter, young hitter, hasn't really had a lot of bats at the major league level, so they just try to throw it about as soft as you can.
2-2 to Flaherty, and inside 3-2. Morrow with a 3-2 count. Flaherty hitting 8th, Teagarden batting 9th in the order. Full count delivery. Flaherty will pop it up, and Sevilla back and has no play.
He had a pretty good swing. That's the 3rd splitter he's seen in this sequence of pitches. And of course, the little things in the game, if you're Brandon Morrow, you want to get Flaherty out because you want Teagarden leading off the next inning. And of course, the Orioles would love to have Ryan get on. He walked a couple of times last night. And get Taylor up, and you just never know. Maybe he hits not a lot of power, but maybe a gapper and tie it up.
3-2 again back into the screen. So Flaherty holding, and a 3-ball 2-strike count. Morrow trying to get out of the inning after his ball club gave him the 2-1 lead in the top half of the 2nd. Again, the 3-2. The second base, Bonifacio. Almost overthrew that, but gets the out. Retires the side in order. 1, 2, 3. We've completed 2 here at Camden Yards. The Jays 2, the Orioles 1. Is brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. By Honda. Get a great deal during the really big spring event now at your Honda dealer. And by Just for Men. Just for Men Auto Stop is foolproof. Gray is over. Josh Stinson ready to go against his Tourist, the number 9 hitter. His first at bat in the ball game, and that is in there for a strike. His Tourist, then Davis and Bonifacio. Jays come in having won only 2 games against the East so far. They are 2-6 against the East. Jones puts it away as Tourist retired.
Number 11,
Relying on the fastball as expected.
Yeah. Well, that he is. I mean, that's about, guys will throw 60, usually 57 to maybe 61%. Some guys just a touch more. He's had a nice curveball. He hadn't thrown a whole lot of them. There it is. I mean, if you're Raji Davis, you're going, how do I supposed to hit that? No, you don't.
Davis with the 0-1, and he'll hit that one to left field. McLouth going back at the wall. McLouth, goodbye, home run. And the second home run of the ball game out of the yard. Raja Davis gets this one, and the Jays increase their lead 3-1.
Well, great park to hit it. It's an afternoon game, supposed to get around 80 degrees. It was in the 50s a couple of days ago. It's about 368 feet. You just cannot. And you could see Josh kind of grimace because it runs right back in the middle of the plate. I mean, he gets his arms extended, hits it to the power alley, which is only 364, and it's a souvenir.
So Davis with a home run. That ball by Bonifacio's bloop. McLouth coming and will make the play. And there are 2 down. The Orioles will return to Baltimore on Tuesday, May 7th to begin a 3-game midweek series with the Royals. Every Tuesday home game is Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Upper reserve seats are only $9 in advance. So make plans now to welcome the Birds back. 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. 2 down. Here's Bautista. And Bautista will take the strike on the outside corner. 4 home runs, hitting just 185 to start the season. And going for a home run, he just nubs it in front of the plate. Teagarden's got it and will make the play. And that will do it here in the third. Raja Davis, his first home run of the year, and the Jays on top 3-1.
Seattle as a reliever throwing about 99 miles per hour, so the strikeouts have come down. This year, of course, they only scored 5 runs in his first 4 starts. So again, doesn't mean you can't pitch well. Last year, Gary Thorne told you the numbers go down, but he had one of the lowest ERAs in the American League, under 3 runs a game. So it looks to me he's using his splitter and his other secondary pitches a lot more effectively.
And bottom of the third inning, and the pitch taken by Teagarden. You saw our Dodge Inside the Numbers. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive. Go to Dodge.com. Check out their powerful lineup. And there's a strike. Teagarden making his third to start for the Orioles. McLouth and then Machado due up. Orioles 9 wins, 5 losses against the East. They have more wins against the East than any other of the division teams. They played so many games already. Teagarden takes it away, and a 2-ball 1-strike count to it. Aaron Seavey gets his third home lifetime at Camden Yards. Rajah Davis gets his second in this ballpark. They have accounted for the 3 Jays runs on 2 hits. 2-1 to third. Lowry's got it. Almost drove him backwards.
Yep, a bullet. What, a former hockey player? Not going to the goal. Nope. Would have gone down in the corner for one very, very quick double. There you go. Just checking to see if it's still in the glove, or maybe broke the strings, the rawhide.
He looked like a soccer goalie on that one. The way he left his feet, moved the body up and over.
Well, they talk about tremendous range. We did see him make a throwing error last night, probably a little bit overzealous after he had struck out, heaved it down the right field line, but he's got great range and a nice arm.
1-0 count. Nate McLouth had a double, scored a run in the first inning, his first hit off Morrow. He's now 1 for 7 lifetime, and he will take that one for a strike. As the number 1 hitter, you take a look. Highest on base percentage. Reyes injured for Toronto, so that's a great loss. Altuve with Houston, Coco Crisp, and then Nate McLouth. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Morrow took it full on McLouth first time up, and on the second 3-2 pitch he got the double. This one's going to be worked away, and the count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, 93 is the hadn't got to the 95 to 97 that they had in their scouting reports as of yet, and so 91 in the middle of the plate, and the hitters counts can be very hittable.
Walked it.
Yep. And also when you look at the Orioles, 10 steals, he's got 4 of them. They've only been caught once.
So McLouth is on. First walk surrendered by Morrow. Manny Machado coming to the plate. Take a look at our Hollywood League leaderboard. Slots, tables, and dining. The ultimate triple play at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. RBI leaders over the last 10 days. Manny Machado with 8. Look at Mike Napoli for Boston. 17.
They had a grand slam the other night against the A's. Of course, the A's won with 13-0 last night in Boston. Only a 7-inning game.
Terrible weather.
Yeah.
Sloshing their way through it. But Bartolo Colon pitched well. Aceves did not. And the Red Sox took the loss. They have a rubber match today playing in Boston. Manny Machado grounded out his first time up. Runner on at first with 1 away. And that pitch in the dirt. Aaron Seavius thrown out just 2 of 14. And he's going to go out to have a word with Morrow.
Well, your catcher knows you about as well as anybody, and you can see again. I mean, this is a day where he's got a 3-1 lead, but the strikes over balls, 26 strikes and 21 balls, and his velocity is not where it can be. He's been able to make some good pitches. The one number that jumps out at Manny, now 4 for 35 in day games. He prefers to, at age 20, to play at night. He used to get it up early.
Pitch will be taken inside.
Well, that's difficult. You know, it's the normal. A normal week is usually 6 night games and Sunday. You guys don't handle it. I don't mean, I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's figured everything else out, but just some guys, it's just a total, can't get used to it.
Out of the rhythm. Lowry, that's a nice stop. Look to second. Throw to first. Going to get away. Through the legs of Encarnacion. Over to third goes McLouth. He'll stay there. And Machado will stay at first base.
Yeah, you know, he does make the great play because he stays down. You can always come up. You can't go down. So he stays down below this. I mean, watch how low he gets the glove on his knees. But then the one thing that Manny Machado has better than anybody maybe in the American League or Major League Baseball is arm strength at third base. So Lowry's ball just doesn't have enough on it, and then Encarnacion can't come up with it.
Lowry is charged with his third error, and boy, the errors are killing the Jays. They have now committed 15 errors on the season. They came in tied for 10th in the league defensively, and it has cost them. They have given up 13 unearned runs on the year, and the Orioles get a chance at it right here. First and third, Nick Markakis will fly out his first time up. RBI chance. Morrow's delivery, and that will miss outside for a ball.
Yeah, and it kind of sets up the inning because it makes it much more difficult. And then, of course, they're on him. You know, John Gibbons is yelling at home plate umpire Mike DeMuro. That ball's off the corner, and of course it's hard to tell from the dugout. But you know, Nick can hit a ball into right field now, get a run in, maybe get Machado to third.
1-0 count. Up high, almost got away.
And he's wanted to be swung at it.
And he didn't even come close.
No. He looked down there and wanted to see if third base umpire Alfonso Marquez thought so.
Home plate umpire wouldn't let him ask. The third base and first base umpires will only respond if the home plate umpire asks them on the check swing. 2-0 count. Markakis to first and just missed. Foul ball.
That's what I was talking about. A little splitter that's going to speed up the bat. And just hooks it foul.
Encarnacion, even though he was standing on the bag since he was holding the runner, ball hit so hard, even diving in foul territory, couldn't get it. Wayne Kirby talking to Manny Machado.
Well, there is something to be said about the way the Orioles have moved Chris Davis off the bag at first base, because it takes away the hole, but it also allows you to go both ways. When you're on the bag, you're going to the hole. It is hard to come back to your left.
2-1 delivery, little roller. Can they turn two on this? No, run will score.
Nice little slide by Manny Machado at second.
Nate McLeod crosses the plate, an RBI for Markakis, and it is a 3-2 ball game.
They take advantage of the Lowry throwing error. Otherwise, he's not at third. They're trying to turn. Now watch Manny Machado, and right there, Sturris tries to get out of the way. Very clean slide, but no chance to turn it. There's your second run.
And Markakis on at first base. Nick with his 8th run batted in of the year. So the Orioles make it a 1-run ball game. And here's Adam Jones again. Jones up with a runner at first base. Had a single and an RBI his first time up. Adam has now driven in 8 with 2 outs. 8 2-out RBIs for Adam Jones. 8 out of the 16. And there are the numbers in day games for him. Highest among the American League players. With 25 plate appearances. 2 down, runner at first, Markakis. Morrow's pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Brandon Morrow is pitched backwards in the sense of that first strike pitch not really mattering. Hitters are 385 off him when he gets the first strike. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Jones will take that, and it will catch the corner. 1-1.
Little backup slider.
Well, you can see from the Morrow we've seen in past years who had that fastball now really trying to pitch and spot.
Well, either that or just you just don't know. I watched a little bit of the game up in Toronto against the Yankees. He just didn't have really good velocity. He is diabetic. He has juvenile diabetes, and some people point to that. He says, no, something I usually can monitor. And well, there's a little more on the fastball. Finally, 1/93. Didn't seem like he was very happy with it, but he threw it right by Adam Jones at 94. But normally he pitches from 93 to 97. And we haven't seen that yet today.
John Gibbons hoping his ball club can get out of this, not be swept. They've got to go on to New York, play in the series against the Yankees. Jones, 1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Adam has had 5 runs batted in now in this 9-game homestand, and Jones will foul that one back. Adam at 361, 3 home runs. He's picked up a couple of walks on the year. He stayed away from that slider breaking ball away, which he had chased so often for strikeouts in past years. He has struck out 18 times, only 2 free passes. He does not go up looking for a walk.
No.
Not his job. 1-2. And down to third base. Lowry will backhand that one. This time guns it over and will record the out. So another unearned run surrendered by Toronto. The Orioles will pick it up, but they're going to call it an earned run. And it's a 1-run game. Games that have been started by Lester and Buchholz this season. Lester gets the start. 4 o'clock game in Boston against Oakland today. Mark Teixeira saying yesterday that wrist is still hurting him, and he does not. He says, I will not be back early May where I thought I would be, but I'm hoping mid-May. And the Tampa Bay Rays are now 0-5 in games started by David Price this season. Encarnacion, another one way back in left field and way back. Goodbye home run. The 3rd homer of the day for the Jays, and they get their 4th on the board.
Well, again, you just can't pitch in the middle of the plate to these guys. They're free swingers. It's the 2nd time through the lineup. So if you make your pitches, and he's made a lot of good ones, you can get people out. If not, these guys, and he did hit 42. They were the first team to 500 runs last year. So again, this is kind of where he likes it. We saw that last night, a 3-run shot off of Miguel Gonzalez to get him back into the game, and that was a monster shot.
And it is a 4-2 ball game. And you saw our Nissan pitch track. Your best choice for a new car, Nissan, of course, at Nissan's Best Choice sales event. Choose from the best ever lineup of fuel efficient vehicles. ChooseNissan.com. The offers end up to April 30. Pitch is there for a strike. Cabrera drew a walk and scored. So Arencibia, 2 RBI homers, solo homers by Raja Davis and Encarnacion. And a chopper back to the mound. Stinson will play this one over to first. The Orioles' home schedule in May packed with rivalries and excitement, including showdowns against the Yankees, Nationals, and Rays. Get your tickets in advance and save, and avoid the ticket lines on game days. The ballpark that changed baseball forever. Come out and enjoy it. Get your tickets 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Encarnacion, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs in this series. Here's Arencibia, the home run, his 8th of the year in the 2nd inning, and he will take it for a strike. Josh Stinson, the emergency starter for the Orioles, 25-year-old right-hander, getting touched up for the long ball. That one down the line is going to be a base hit. It'll come off the wall to Nate McClout. Arencibia is on his way to second. He continues to be a hot hitter as he's got a double.
Well, it really is. And again, he chased early on against Chris Tillman the other night, got into hitters counts, finally went the other way into right field. Just a little change up once again, and this is the big leagues. So good hitting teams, even though you know, he's a little bit out of front. The ball's just too much of the plate.
Runner on at second, only one away. Here's Rasmus, a strikeout victim. His first time up. Jays getting 4 runs on the board. They'd scored 3 or less in 13 of their 21 ball games this year. Hard to believe, but that's how tough it's been offensively. Rasmus will take it for a strike. Tommy Hunter in the bullpen for the Orioles, the long man today. Rasmus, a 184 lifetime average against the O's, but he has 5 home runs. 0-1 delivery to him, fouled off.
Miguel Gonzalez, who won for the second time last night. Still a little disappointed that back-to-back walks with a 4-0 lead and then the 3-run home run, but the bullpen came to the rescue.
Great pitch.
Yeah, I mean, again, the stuff is pretty good. You know, he's thrown some great sinkers. He's thrown some really good changeups. This is about as good a curveball as you could throw. He's just had a couple of balls in the middle of the plate, 3 of them specifically, and in this ballpark, which plays really small, can really hurt you.
And Laurie coming to the plate, the third baseman, looking for his first hit of the series. He is 0 for 7. And he was winding up to swing and a strike.
Well, he comes out of bed wound up. Just high energy guy.
3 home runs lifetime against the Orioles here in this ballpark for Lowry. 0-1 runner off second with a big lead. I mean big. He was halfway down to third that time. Arancibia was not being held, and he just increased that secondary lead by about 5 steps. Flaherty will move a little closer now, the second baseman. 0-2. And jumped on it and fouls it back. Laurie swings so hard you wonder how he doesn't hurt his wrists on every swing.
Well, he does get hurt, and we talked, you know, this year, of course, it was fielding when he had the oblique pull in the World Baseball Classic. Last year, dove into the camera well and missed 3 weeks.
0 for his last 8. 0-2 delivery, and that will miss. Stinson down low. Jays leading it here, 4 runs, 4 hits. The Orioles 2-2. Josh Stinson trying to end the inning right here. 1-2 delivery inside with a fastball. 92 miles an hour on that one.
Because Lowry, you know, Brett is one of those guys you want to have. He's young, 23, former first-round guy, came over in the Sean Markham trade. And, you know, he can hit for power. They expect he's going to be a 20-plus home run guy.
Ground ball towards the hole. Hardy will go get it.
Better hurry.
Long throw, and got him.
And he can run.
He's retired. He's moving down the line. 1 run, couple of hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Home run, Encarnacion. Let's take a look at our Chevrolet League leaderboard. Highest on base percentage. Chris Davis, 4.63. Sin-Soo Choo and Joey Votto up there. Brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Afternoon game. Good time to just put your tie on, suit, walk into the office, say you got business somewhere else, and leave. That's the way to do it.
There you go.
Lunchtime.
An extended lunch.
And Davis takes it down low. I urge those of you who like to think baseball, Tom Verducci, Sports Illustrated, SI.com. Another great story, I thought, about the emphasis on base percentage, working counts, going deep. Fouled off. It isn't working. Not if you're talking about winning ball games and scoring runs. Right now, teams that get a lead after as little as 2 innings are winning 70% of the games this year. The ball's being put in play, or not in play, 81% of pitches thrown, an all-time high for nothing going on. 1-1. And hitters who swing at the first pitch are striking out more. Over the last 25 years, that rate has jumped way up on not swinging at the first pitch and an increase in strikeouts. And the teams that made it to the World Series last year were 2 of the teams who don't wait around at the plate. They rank 25th and 27th in pitches taken. Patience is costly. It is. Despite all the emphasis on it, it hasn't done anything to help offenses except increase in on-base percentage, but it doesn't increase in runs, and it doesn't decrease strikeouts. And I thought it was interesting as Davis goes down swinging. You looked at Votto and Berkman and Davis. Those guys on-base percentage, top of that list, they are guys who come up swinging.
Oh, yeah.
Joey Votto is one of the most pronounced first pitch swingers. They don't wait around at the plate.
Well, I think everybody got caught up in the Moneyball, the Billy Beane Moneyball, where the premise was, you're just going to wait for walks, and you're going to have guys that strike out a lot and hit home runs. Don't try to steal a lot of bases. But I don't think the A's ever said don't just go up looking for a walk. Go up and get quality pitches to hit, which I still remember Lee Elia when he was the batting coach. He was here as a coach, and he was up in Seattle. He said, when he first started playing, he said Eddie Stanky said, we got a surprise visitor, and here comes Ted Williams. And Ted Williams walked up to the first place, and he says, took the bat, taps the home plate, he says, get a good pitch to hit. The game hasn't changed any.
Hardy down the line, and that will be hauled in by Davis. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Our PNC minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Eddie Gamboa, Bowie, Double-A yesterday against Erie. Couple of runs, 4 hits, 6 innings work this season. 0-1, 3.97 ERA. He's had 4 starts. Part of the Orioles' staffing of pitchers in the minors. Reimold will have that one bounce away.
Yeah, Nolan again talking about didn't try to check swing the first pitch, but he checked swing on a hanging breaking ball and popped it up and didn't really get a swing. But normally he sees a lot of pitches.
He had led the Orioles early.
You guys were talking. I mean, he was leading the American League.
He couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I asked him about it.
And I don't think it was on purpose. I think is that, number one, if you're pitching against him, you know he's really strong. He knows, look at those numbers. Not a lot of at-bats. So he's just trying to throw him enough strikes to try to get him out with balls. I mean, that's the key to pitching. If you can, and if a hitter won't fall into that, and he does know the strike zone, much tougher out.
Reimold popped out his first time up. 2-ball, 1-strike count with 2 away, 4th inning. Jays have the 4-2 lead. Reimold will take it outside. I still think the most interesting, most disturbing part of it for me, and what Tom Verducci was writing about, and they did in the baseball issue of Sports Illustrated, that 81% of pitchers not put in play. Folks, that's why the game's 3 hours and 30 minutes long. And baseball was not meant to go, I don't think, over 3 hours. That is popped up to third base, and that'll be hauled in by Laurie. Good for you to all discuss about today while you have an adult beverage and hang around with the game. All right, 14. trying to get the sweep. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. And for the Orioles, there'll be more pitching questions, I suppose, after the game. But where they're going to go next?
Well, yeah, in a sense. I mean, Josh Stinson, you come to the big leagues, as you said, what is this? Maybe his second major league start, first for the Orioles. He made 3 mistakes. But Toronto, that's what they do. They're fastball hitters. They've gotten 3 fastballs. Aaron Sebia, big, strong guy. He hit a fly ball, but it just happened to go over the center field fence. The same with Davis. And then Encarnacion, souvenir about 80 rows up in left center field. So this is the kind of team that you just can't really pitch in the middle of the plate. He's made a couple of mistakes, but his stuff has actually been pretty good. Good movement. He's used up, he's used all his pitches, sliders, changeups, and curveballs. But and then Brandon Morrow, he's going, geez, this is like Christmas. I got 4 runs, 5 runs in my first 4 starts. You already got me 4. I like this. So again, you're not out of the ballgame. You just have to get him out. Again, you'd probably like to. Hunter's well rested. At last pitched on Saturday. So get him out this inning and take your chances.
That'll go to Flaherty, and the play made for the out is Torres is retired on the ground ball. 1 down, 5th inning. Celebrate a new season in Birdland by ordering the official Orioles Maryland license plate. Has the popular cartoon bird logo. Plate's a great way to show your Oriole pride and help support Orioles' reach in the community, with proceeds going to Orioles Charitable Foundation. That's Orioles.com/plates to reserve yours. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Roger Davis, speedster, back in. 5-game hit streak now as he delivered the home run in the 3rd inning. Josh Stinson has had a walk and 2 strikeouts. Davis with the swing and a miss and 0-2.
And I think if you probably went back and said to Josh, he said, listen, it's not that they were the wrong pitches. They just were the wrong pitches as far as location.
Orioles have had only 2 hits in the ball game, and Davis goes down swinging.
I mean, that's a nasty slider. I mean, he's had as good a curveball as we've seen almost all year long, and he's thrown some of the best changeups. He just, again, when you throw mostly right around 90, this is a slider. I mean, watch the break on this. And the slider is it appears to be a fastball. The good ones, it just slides away from the bat head. A well executed pitch.
It'll bring up Emilio Bonifacio, batting second in the lineup. He has flied out twice in the ball game, shows bunt, and he will take it for a strike. Bonifacio last year with Miami played in 64 games. Center fielder, second baseman, another one of the utility players. 0-1 delivery is outside. 267 career hitter at the major league level with just under 500 games played.
Yeah, with speed, 30 out of 33 attempts in stolen base. I asked John Gibbons, I said, if you think about leading him off with Reyes out.
Down to first, Davis. I can do that.
And he said, nope, he just swings at too many pitches. Nice pick there.
So a good 1-2-3 inning. Now the Oriole bats down by 2. Will try and go to work to help their starter. Bonus for this inning only. Today's Maryland Lottery Hit It Big contestant of the game will receive $500 for any Orioles home run. Jim Davies has already won $700. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery Hit It Big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. Well, we'll see if that number holds up. Team with a lead after 2 wins 70% of the time. That's kind of scary. That's this year, though. That's limited.
Yeah,
games.
It used to be, what, about 60% if you scored first? I mean, even the Orioles during the 14-year losing scheme would be around 60% when they could score first. Unfortunately, they just didn't score first often enough.
As evidenced by the records.
Yes.
Here is Flaherty, who grounded out his first time up. Teagarden and then McLouth drew up. Morrow with a walk and 2 strikeouts. The Orioles' McLouth had a leadoff double. Jones had an RBI single. Both those hits in the first inning. The Orioles have not had a hit since the first. And Flaherty.
Yeah,
down a little bit.
Another splitter. They are just trying to stay away from the fastball and the obvious counts. And then he sees so many soft pitches. He ended up getting a fastball to hit, but he grounded it right to the second baseman because that was the last thing he's looking at. So, as you do with young hitters, especially when you have some options, veteran pitchers will mess with them.
Flaherty will ground that one towards second base. Bonifacio's got it. 1 down, 5th inning. When the Orioles win, everybody wins all season long. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com by entering promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's. Buck Showalter not wanting to talk about Dylan Bundy this morning at the press conference, and understandably so. As one of the writers said, what are the 10 most feared words in baseball when it comes to pitching? He's going to Dr. Andrews for a second opinion. And that's where Dylan Bundy's going.
Well, they've had the MRI. It did not show any kind of problem with the ligament. You have one of the brighter phenoms in baseball. He's not feeling well. We do go get a second opinion. Our guy used to be the first opinion, other than the team doctor, would be Robert Curl, Southwest Orthopedist. Now it's Louis Yoakum out there. But peace of mind has a, and it's funny. The Orioles will be better when Dylan Bundy's pitching in the big leagues. So he wants to get here. They want him to get here. So if that's what it's going to take, go down there. He's very good, as is John Wilkins, the team physician, and we'll see where it goes.
Strikeout number 3. Teagarden goes down. 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning. No indication when the report from Dr. Andrews will be given, but won't be long. Pitch will be taken. 2 down. McLouth, a double, a walk. He has scored both Oriole runs. 1 on the Jones RBI base hit. 1 on the Markakis ground ball. Love is in the air, obviously. And the pitch is taken for a strike. And 1-1 on Nate McLouth. Nate and Nick Markakis sharing the leadoff spot, depending on right or left-hander this year. Swings through that one. 1-2.
Yeah, the stuff is getting a little crisper. The velocity's gone up a couple of miles, a couple of ticks. And he has shown the Orioles he will throw his slider, which was the pitch he swung through, and then the splitter at any time.
And the 1-2 in the dirt. Stopped by Aaron Sebia. The Orioles here at home are now 7-4 in the year. This homestand, they are 6-2 with a chance for the sweep. They've scored about a run more per game at home than they have on the road. Came into the day hitting 265 at home and 253 away. And taking advantage. And now the home plate umpire is talking to John Gibbons about the strike zone. Because Gibbons has been talking to him. Mike DeMuro heard enough. And Gibbons giving it right back, standing on the top step.
Yeah, Gibby's going, we need a win, but you are ahead 4-2. You may not see it if you keep yapping. That's what umpires will tell you.
Former catcher Gibbons. And that ball in the air down the line. Rajah Davis will not have a play.
Yeah, I was talking to John. I said, so, okay, number 1 draft choice. Were you a catch and throw guy? And he said, well, not until I got to the big leagues. And then they started throwing breaking balls. I became a catch and throw guy. Because that was all right through the minor leagues. Boy, we've heard that story before.
3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. And another walk. So McLeod on for the 3rd time. Keeps pumping his on base percentage up. 2 walks in the ball game. He's got both of them. Keeps it alive for Manny Machado. Machado has reached on an error and grounded out. Manny with a couple of RBIs here in this series. And has had a very good homestand for the Orioles. 2 down. Machado will take it up high for a ball. Manny on the homestand has picked up 8 runs batted in. Coming in to this ball game with a 9 for 31 stand. Now 9 for 33. Couple of home runs. And he scored 6 times. 1-0 delivery. Machado jammed a little bit, popped it up. Second base. Bonifacio puts it away. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Morrow retiring the Orioles and protecting the Jays lead.
On a 2-out double by Adam Jones down in the right field corner. McLeod will score, and then here come the Jays with a 2-run shot by Aaron Sebe, the 8th of the year, leads the American League. Orioles back trying to turn a double play, but the Machado slide. McLeod makes it at the time 3-2, and then a long blast by Encarnacion. Again, we know what he can do.
That one is ripped to left field, and goodbye home run, another one. And Bautista leads off the inning on the first pitch, and 4 home runs in the ball game for Toronto as they take a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, you look at the 2 starters today. Morrow, similar numbers, except he's kept the ball in the ballpark, and for Josh Stinson, just 4 mistakes, and they've all left the ballpark. If he gets it up, it's 90. And this is a guy, again, before he was hurt last year with a left wrist injury, led the American League in back-to-back years in home runs, 54 and 43.
Tommy Hunter, second time up in the bullpen as the start coming closer to the end for Stinson. And Bautista had really been struggling. He gets his 5th home run of the season.
Yeah, only his 2nd home run against the Orioles here at Camden Yards.
Bautista, since the beginning of 2011, hitting against the Orioles 179. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is an amazingly low number for him.
And had only one home run here in that time period. Not anymore. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Encarnacion, who launched one in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2 in the game. Five runs and 5 hits for the Jays. Encarnacion in the air the other way. Nick Markakis. Markakis has it. 1 away here in the 6th. Well, today they're Jays are putting a dent in that number. The extra base hits allowed, the fewest in the American League. The Orioles just 45, and Kansas City only 43. One down here in the 6th inning. Cabrera has drawn a walk and scored, and he has grounded out. Bautista, lifetime now with 8 home runs here at Camden Yards, and a lifetime at 179 batting average. Pitch will be taken down low. Cabrera, followed by Arancibia. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to Melky Cabrera. That one bounced. 74 pitches thrown here in his 2nd major league start.
Yeah, I asked Josh yesterday, I said, how far can you go as far as pitch? He said, well, I got to 88. So, but again, it's not the Jays. He tries to hit that outside corner with a changeup and misses.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Cabrera towards everybody. Davis. And good coverage by Stinson to get the out. 2 down. Follow the Orioles all season long. MLB.com at bat. On your iPhone, iPad, or Android, get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat 31826 or visit Orioles.com for details. 2 down, base is empty. Arancibia with a homer and a double. Arancibia now with 3 hits in 7 at bats in this series. And Buck Showalter will come out with Tommy Hunter ready to go. Not going to take a chance on the league's leading home run hitter, Stinson, having surrendered 4 already in the game. So the emergency starter, 2nd major league start, out of there, and a nice hand from the Oriole fans. The ball game. There's his line as the Orioles starter.
No, if you're a bottom line guy, obviously 5 runs on the 4 home runs, but he really did make some outstanding pitches. The problem was when he didn't, the Blue Jays, and they're known for this, maybe not this year, but over the course of the last couple of seasons, they took advantage of it. Tommy Hunter, his last appearance was a 3-inning stint, his first major league save. That was on Saturday night, 2nd game of that doubleheader against the Dodgers. So he comes in hard throwing. He's thrown 96. So we've seen him ever since he went to the minors last year come back with a lot more velocity.
Aaron Sevia's just 1 for 12 off Tommy Hunter. There are 2 down here. Nobody on. 5-2 ball game with the Jays on top. And the pitch will be taken outside. Aaron Sevia back to what he was doing in 2011. He had a big year, set personal highs in about everything. 23 home runs, 78 RBIs. Then had a fracture last year that took him out for a good part of the season. And now trying to get back to where he was 2 years ago. Nice catch. Wow, that's why you bring your glove. 1-1 delivery. That'll be a ground ball to short. Hardy's got it. And the out recorded. So in an inning highlighted by the Bautista home run and the catch by the young man in the seats, it is 5-2. Is brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Visit OCOcean.com. Click on Lucky Summer of 13 for special deals and discounts. By Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. And by Acura. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards on this glorious early spring afternoon. Nick Marikakis, Jones, and Davis will be due up as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Orioles will be heading out for the 4-game set against Oakland tomorrow night. Jason Hamill, Jared Parker. Hamill 2-1, Parker 0-3. 9:30 for O's Extra and 10 o'clock for the ball game. Then Wei-Yin Chen, Tommy Malone. Chris Tillman goes against A.J. Griffin. And Miguel Gonzalez against Bartolo Colon, who is 3-0 in the final of the 4 games. Markakis an RBI and a fielder's choice. 0 for 2 in the ball game. And Nick will take it for a strike. A very long road trip for the Orioles with 2 4-game sets. You don't get those very often on the road. 4 in Oakland, 3 in Seattle, and then back to face the Angels for 4. And then the Orioles come home for just 3 games and go back to Minnesota.
Well, did they go back out to the West Coast other than interleague play? I guess that's the question. So you get it out of the way early.
And later they've got the San Francisco, San Diego, Arizona in August.
It varies so much. Looking on the schedule, I don't see them going back out to play the Angels or Seattle or Oakland. Maybe I'm wrong. Oakland comes here in August, so again, maybe that's why the length of the trip is what it is. And
yeah, I think you're right. 2-ball, 2-strike count of Markakis. Ground ball, really chopped. Laurie's got a mile to throw it. Oh, got it there. That's from shallow left field.
Well, he caught it right as he was going from the transition of the dirt to the grass, and it's almost like he caught his right foot, and when he did, it was like a quarterback, with a 7-step drop. Tremendously accurate throw for that position. It just amazes. Mike Gordick certainly could talk volumes about that because he was one of the best. It's just how infielders make those plays. I mean, you practice a lot of things. I'm not sure you ever practiced that particular play. The heave from short left field.
Adam Jones takes it inside, and always able to know that last step, the speed of the runner that varies obviously of everybody in the lineup, but always gets there generally that one step ahead of the runner, no matter where it's hit. 1-0 delivery on the way to Jones, out of an RBI single, and he has grounded out.
Yeah, I first saw that when I came up. Louis Aparicio, who would go to the Hall of Fame, was the Orioles shortstop, and he would catch the ball and almost like he was seeing who the league president was that year. Look at it, and then just throw a rocket and beat him by a step.
2-0 delivery. That's to the gap in right center field. It'll stay up though, and Bautista will make the catch. And there are 2 down, 6th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. You'll see J.J. Hardy do that a lot. J.J. Hardy has a kind of unorthodox frozen way of throwing, and I don't mean that negatively. It's just his style. But he will generally get the runner by one step. And if it's somebody really fast, you'll see him hurry it up. I mean, he knows how to do that.
Well, that's why when Lowry hit that ground ball, he usually does that, but he was deliberate. But then again, he's J.J. Hardy, and he did win a Gold Glove. He still got him by a step, and he was scampering down the line. Yeah. I didn't think he was going to get him, and it just beat him.
Here is Davis. 2 strikeouts in the ball game for Chris. Morrow's pitch to him will be up high. Davis now with a 2 for 13 lifetime off Morrow and 1 home run against him. 1 ball, 1 strike count, bottom of the 6th inning. Morrow's delivery, and that'll be fouled back into the screen.
We'll see again. His first fastball, in fact, his first couple were 88. Now he's at 94, and we're here in the 6th. And you think, well, maybe you have him. And meanwhile, his teammates are hitting 4 home runs and getting him 5 runs, and he's really done a nice job of pitching today, mixing up his pitches.
1-2, and he got him to chase. Tag will be put on just in case. 3 strikeouts now in Davis's column. Morrow's got 4 in the ball game. 6 complete. Oriole spring training is also a destination for culinary adventure. From fresh local seafood to an array of Zagat rated restaurants, you can learn more by visiting SavorsSarasota.com. Summer weather has already arrived in Sarasota with the temperatures in the upper 80s and the Gulf warming up. Youngsters here for the day game have themselves a good time.
Wait, did I see some Sagat rated ice cream there?
You did.
I did. This and Sagat. just want to say that a couple of times.
A couple times? Yeah. That's like Rancho Cucamonga. There are some words that need to be repeated for no
you guys
reason.
Talking about it. And then I'm thinking, when you get to Rancho Cucamonga, just in case when we're out in Orange County,
yes.
if you drive out there,
yes.
of course you'll miss the game because the traffic being what it can be.
Yes.
There's a sign that says next stop Las Vegas. So it's but there is. I mean, the Angels have their A team out there. There is an In-N-Out Burger out there, so it's worth the drive.
It's worth the drive.
Yeah, yes, it is.
And Rasmus will pull it down the line and foul. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
That's what happens when you get a fastball hitter, you're throwing 95, and he's looking fastball, and he's got a quick bat. A way to get Colby Rasmus, stay out of that middle of the plate, try to get ahead, and then get him to chase.
3 for 10 with a homer off Tommy Hunter. Rasmus will take that one.
And he came in to 64 at bats, 30 punch-outs.
Among the tops in strikeouts, the Orioles now with the count of 3-1 put the shift on. They move Hardy over to the other side of second base. 3-1 delivery on the way. Yikes. Another one right off the screen of the Orioles dugout.
That was a little cutter that he's again thinking fastball and get the bat head out. Yeah, I look at the Jays and they remind me of like a softball team, slow pitch softball where all the big guys come in and they just hit high fly balls and way out.
3-2 is high, but not way. Markakis will get over and put it away. 1 down, 7th inning here at Camden Yards. The Orioles trailing here by a score of 5-2. The O's had a lead, 1-0 first inning. Jays answered in the second. 2-run homer by Aaron Sebia. The Orioles got one back in the third inning on a Markakis fielder's choice RBI, but then the home runs continued. Encarnacion got one in the fourth. Bautista got one in the sixth. Araja Davis one in the third, and a 5-2 lead. And wanting to join that hit parade in terms of long ball is their third baseman. Brett Laurie has flied out and grounded out.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the at bats. He talked about the oblique problem he had. He had 2 rehab games, and they rushed him back to the big leagues. Actually, they were thinking and talking because he used to play second base in Double-A, moving him to second base, and let Esteuras play third, and again try to solve the second base problem with Reyes out.
They really don't want to play Esteuras at short. He is there today. With Bonifacio playing at second base.
Well, as long as they hit 4 home runs a game, it won't really matter who plays shortstop.
2-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be a strike on the inside corner, much to his delight. 2-2.
Yeah, John Gibbons. Well, Mike DeMuro, his dad actually, he umpired like 62 to 83, long-time umpire, and he umpired my no-hitter. His dad did.
His dad?
And a little better strike zone that night, and of course I got 8 runs early, so it made it easy.
That helps. Yeah.
Did I walk? I think I walked.
I don't think it's ever easy.
Might have walked 7 or something like that.
And walked in. So Tommy Hunter surrenders the pass. Laurie is on 1 down here in the 7th inning. And Esteuras will be coming to the plate. Esteuras 2 for 13 off Hunter. Tommy on in relief of Stinson, who worked 5 hits and 5 2/3. The Orioles with a couple of runs. One is unearned. We thought that run in the 3rd inning was unearned, and they have changed the scoring. So the run in the 1st earned, the run in the 3rd unearned. And it is the 14th unearned run surrendered by the Jays, but they have overcome it with a long ball so far. 1-0 count. As Torres is flied out, grounded out. Laurie held Davis on the bag at first base. There he goes. Ground ball towards third. Manny Machado will go over to first base to get the out. He was playing in. Down to second base. Lowry goes 2 down.
Yeah, they start him, and again hope that Esteuras can find a hole. Lowry did steal 30 at Double-A. 11 at the big league level. But again, he's a multifaceted, talented young man.
And that'll bring Raja Davis up. 4 for 10 lifetime off Hunter, the leadoff batter in this game. Home run came in the 3rd inning, his first of the year. He is 1 for 3 and now has a 5-game hit streak. Rajah Davis 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And he'll go after the first pitch, pop it up. Davis, Flaherty. And a nice running catch made by Ryan Flaherty. And that will retire the side. 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards. The Orioles closing out this homestand, trailing it 5-2. Will have an 11-game, 11-day road trip. Jason Hamill in Game 1 takes the mound against Jared Parker in Oakland. Our coverage on MASN 2 HD begins at 9:30 with those extra presented by Geico, followed by game coverage at 10. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, there they are. Hamill, he's still trying to get the touch he had last year. Jared Parker, a very good young pitcher. And, of course, he's really struggled. And when he did pitch well, which is his last start, Jeremy Hellickson and the Tampa Bay Rays beat him 1-0. So we'll see how he is tomorrow night out on the West Coast.
Morrow will deliver a strike to Hardy, who has flied out twice. Brandon Morrow looking for his first win against 2 losses on the year. It is his 5th start. He's thrown 98 pitches. Hardy will take it in the air to right center field. Bautista.
Yeah, must have a lot of life on his pitches today. I mean, he's got the slider and the splitter going down, but the fastball, some nice lazy fly balls. Even though we've seen with their 4 home runs, the ball can carry if you hit it well.
Morrow in charge here with a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts in the ball game. The Orioles nowhere near the .333 batting average opponents had against him coming into the game. Here's Nolan Reimold with 1 down. Reimold fouls it back. Reimold has popped out a couple of times, 2nd and 3rd. The Orioles have had a couple of chances to sweep a series, including in the Dodgers series. Won the first 2, lost the 3rd. Chance to sweep this series. That's off the mask onto the screen, and a 2-strike count. Bullpen active, Aaron Loup.
You know, we saw him the other night. He gave up the game-winning hit down the left field line, and Nick Markakis. Of course, the difference in the possible sweep with the Dodgers, they had a 4-1 lead in that afternoon. And game that Arrieta pitch. Oh,
close.
Wow. Well, it's kind of baseball. You never want to mess a guy with a guy's head, but you're trying to go in, big strong hitter. That ball, a little chin music, literally. Let's see how he throws over his front side. Great extension, and then watch this ball just take off. And it's not too far from that chin.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that will be foul back. Morrow has hit 1 batter, had 1 wild pitch in the previous 4 starts.
You used to see it a lot more than you see it now. You know, that's just was part of the the way he used to do it. And now with the protection and guys charging the mound and all that. Let's see where he goes now. He's certainly established in. You can see Aaron Sebia saying, okay, get it down and away, and he just misses. So that's the, at least velocity-wise, the hardest ball he's thrown all afternoon here in the 7th.
Takes the count to 2-2 on Reimold with Flaherty waiting on deck for the Orioles. And the 2-2 delivery by Morrow. And again inside, and again will miss. 3-2. So Morrow at his highest pitch count of the season. Actually, the 100 pitches he threw in the opening game against Cleveland were the most he threw in the 4 starts. He's up to 105 in this one. Reimold, 3-2, 1 down. And we'll walk him. 3rd walk. Maybe running out of a little gas there. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Adam Jones, who has delivered an RBI base hit. Nate McLouth, who's been up and on 3 times, scoring twice. And J.P. Arancibia. He's had the 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, including a home run. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 31826. Flaherty's grounded out to second base twice. And the pitch is down low, and that'll bring Arancibia out to the mound.
Well, he had 3 complete games and 3 shutouts. Obviously, he's not going to have that with the first inning run. But it's not like he's not and hasn't in the past been able to pitch into the late innings. But catcher right out there, you cannot lose focus just because the bullpenner's up. And, his track record tells you he's not one of those guys that automatically you give him a lead and he's going, I'll let them do it, because he's pitched late in the ball games and done it very effectively. But I'm sure that J.P. Arancibia kind of made that point.
Flaherty gets his lead at first. Orioles trying to get the potential tying run to the plate here in the 7th. 1-0 delivery. Flaherty takes it, and it's down low, and he's missing by a lot. Yep. And the count's 2-0. Well, that will bring Walker out.
Yeah, and it's been one of those afternoons where he's made a lot of really good pitches. He's mixed everything up, but it's always kind of been right on the top of the fence of going one way or the other. You think you're in the ball game, at least offensively, for the Orioles, but to this point, he's been able to make the right pitch at the right time.
Pete Walker, the pitching coach, out.
You know, and you get to this point, Gary, a 3rd time against Ryan Flaherty. He did end up throwing him a fastball, but he had thrown him so many breaking balls. The book on Ryan is do not give him a fastball early in the count to hit. But when you fall behind, everything changes. So we'll see if maybe he gets a pitch to hit here, something that hasn't been the case, and that's why the average is as low as it is.
They're trying to find the strike zone with a 2-0. And catches the outside corner. 2-1. Flaherty, then Teagarden due up. Morrow tries to prevent this order from getting turned over here in the 7th inning for the Orioles. Reimold off first base, and that's in there for a strike. Flaherty didn't think so, and it goes 2-2.
So back-to-back fastballs, one on the outside corner. I mean, right on the corner, and that one looked like it might have been a little bit low and in. So now he's back into a count where he can throw him something other than a heater.
Only 1 down. Two Reimold at first, not going. Ball towards the gap. That's going to make it. It'll go all the way to the wall. Coming to third base, here's Reimold. He'll be waved, Tom. It'll be a double and an RBI, and the Orioles right back in it. It's 5-3.
Well, there's your low tee shot on a low heater. Tries to come back with 3 straight fastballs, and Ryan Flaherty just drops the bat head. And with his speed, this is going to be a triple. Except I think he looked at the scoreboard, didn't want to get thrown out or even take a risk, so he just goes down and gets it. If you're watching the PGA Tour, and Reimold with great speed is going to score easily.
And that will be it for Morrow. John Gibbons coming out to the mound to get his starter, who works 7 1/3 innings, but clearly struggling here in this Seventh inning will leave with a chance to get his first win of the season, and the Jays go to the bullpen. And a good outing for him. 21 hitters between hits. The Orioles had a hit by Jones in the first, and they hadn't had another one until that double here in the seventh. There's the line.
Yeah, the walks, again, that's what probably figured, okay, if we can get a big hit. But again, it took Ryan Flaherty here in the seventh to do that. So Aaron Loop comes in. We saw him the other night, 90-92, never threw a breaking ball. Came in with the bases loaded. Eventually, Nick Markakis would slice a 2-strike fastball down into the left field corner for a game winner.
Teagarden represents the potential tying run, and almost. Davis. Runner halfway. Raja Davis puts it away. Teagarden is retired. Luke gets the out. And there are 2 down in the seventh inning.
Trying to be aggressive and counted on a fastball and got one, but just got it on the end of the bat.
So Luke with 2 away, top of the order. That'll bring up Nate McLouth. McLouth a solid day again, a double, 2 walks. He has scored 2 runs in the ball game. In at third base, Laurie. The breaking ball will be in there for a strike. For McLouth, 0 for 7 against left-handers coming into the ball game. The Orioles today 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They are 4 for 17 in the series. And off the end of the bat, foul.
There's a breaking ball that we never saw the other night. And of course, Aaron Loop, as we mentioned on a couple of nights ago, he's right on the first base side of the rubber. And if you're left-handed, he is stepping right at you. There's a little bit of a crossfire.
Left-handers are 3 for 12 off him, 250. Right-handers hitting 269.
Actually, he's faced a lot of right-handers, 26 at bats. So he's not just a one type of batter type of guy where you bring him in to match up.
They've added another left-hander. They've got Cecil, who is there, and they've added Aaron Laffey today, the veteran. He was put on the roster after the game last night. Right-hander Ramon Ortiz was designated for assignment. Laffey now here and ready to go. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Runner at second, Flaherty. And McLouth takes the pitch outside. Ryan Flaherty picking up the RBI in the inning, is third to make it a 5-3 ball game. Orioles with only 3 hits. Two delivery to McLouth. That one's going to go to the other gap. And not going to be caught. Cut off by Rasmus. Flaherty will score. Long single, and it's a one-run game. McLeod makes it 5-4.
Well, all left-handed hitters, when they get a base hit, they will tell you with 2 strikes, you're trying to keep your front shoulder in. Use the whole field, and then hope you get a pitch to hit. And that's exactly what he does. He gets to see 5 pitches. This one ends up in the middle of the plate. Doesn't try to pull it. Rasmus makes a nice play because that ball easily could have gotten by him for extra base hit. So there's your 4th run.
Second RBI for McLeod. Now the potential go-aheads at the plate. Manny Machado. And Machado will take it for a strike. So the Orioles coming right back in this ball game. 2 runs in the inning. Both will be charged tomorrow. So he gives up 4 runs on 3 hits. 3 of the runs earned. Runner goes. No play. Big jump. Stolen base.
Well, he went on the first move. That's how you do it. And even if you go on the first move and you have speed like Nate McLeod, sometimes you can outrace the ball if the first baseman receives it on a pickoff throw. But so again, I don't know if it's the advanced scouting. I don't know if he's Nate McLeod and he's a terrific base runner, 5th of the year. But he gets a great jump, and now all of a sudden tie run in scoring position.
Pitch will be taken by Machado. McLeod is now 5 out of 6. The Orioles 11 out of 13 stealing bases. The Orioles are 6th in the American League in stolen bases. 1 ball, 2 strike count. 0 for 3 in the ball game so far for Manny Machado, who did reach on an error that created the unearned run in the 3rd inning, and he will step out. Manny chant begins. Machado, I told you, has been big in this department, coming in with that 8 for 20 with runners in scoring position. He just ignites the fans already.
Well, again, and we saw when he flicked that 3-run home run off of Josh Beckett the other night. It's not like he tried to hit a home run. It's just that he just, again, he's going to be a real powerful hitter. But at this point, I think he just tries to use the whole field and put balls in plays in these situations if he can.
Loops delivery to him, and that's going to miss inside. So Machado works the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Machado hitting just 192 off the lefties and 304 off right-handers. That number will improve. The 2 managers, a key moment in the game. Intense fans. Great speed. McLeod out there at second base will, of course, be off anyway on contact with 2 down. 3-2 delivery, and Machado punches it. That's going to go in the gap. Here comes McLeod. He'll score. Machado on his way to second, thinking 3. Machado makes the turn. There'll be no play. Triple RBI tie game. The Orioles pick up the 3-bagger by Machado, their first triple of the year.
Again, he gets another good pitch to hit. The matchup, the Glauth against Luke doesn't work as he doubles or singles, and then Manny gets to the plate against the lefties. If you're John Gibbons and you're managing Toronto, you're saying, well, because he's going to motor it into a triple. As you said, Gary, well, the matchup's good. Lefty against righties. He doesn't hit lefties. Well, he did then. There's your tie and run.
And a big comeback by the Orioles. 3 runs here in the 7th inning to tie this ball game up. And now Nick Markakis can give the Orioles the lead. He's had an RBI and a fielder's choice, got robbed of a hit by Lowry at third base his last time to the plate.
You know, you go back to the walk to Nolan Reimold, and he almost hit him in the jaw, and he lost his command after that. And you wonder if that had something to do with it. You know, that and the fact that the pitch count was over 100.
14 RBIs for Manny Machado, 4 career triples. He's on at third. Boy, does he ignite a ballpark. Young age, first full season, but he's on it. 2-0 delivery. Markakis will take the strike on the inside corner. Nick, of course, has always had the good numbers against the left-handers. He's hitting .273 against lefties this year. O'Day gets ready in the bullpen. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Slow roller towards second base. Bonifacio. And will record the out, but the Orioles do damage. 7th inning, they pick up the runs to tie the ball game at 5-5. Our day game at Camden Yards as the Orioles have pulled back. Each team with just 5 hits. Bullpen's now in charge. Here's O'Day.
Yeah, well, he came in the first game and struck out Bonifacio in a very crucial moment of the game. So again, outstanding numbers. Really, the only run he's given up is the home run by James Loney, Tampa Bay Rays. So again, it's your bullpen against theirs. Orioles just outstanding. This is how they win the 1-run close games. And the extra inning games, Manny Machado, once again, for a young hitter, really hits under control. It is amazing. And not only that, he plays the infield, the shortstop that moved to third. I guess that's why he was the #1 guy, and they gave him a ton of money because they did a great job of it's not only the natural things, it's just the innate things that it seems like it becomes second nature to him.
Well, his mental approach, too. I mean, for a young person and young player to be as calm and steady as he is day in and day out is pretty phenomenal. So here we go, talking about the bullpens for the Jays. Their relief pitchers ranked 7th. The Orioles relievers ranked 3rd in ERA. The Orioles, of course, their pen's been magnificent. And credit Tommy Hunter, worked an inning and a third, walked only 1 batter, gave up nothing, and the Orioles able to come back. Now O'Day. And Bonifacio will take it for a strike. Bonifacio, Bautista, and Encarnacion. Bonifacio with the 0 for 3 in this one and the 0 for 5 in the series. Manny Machado in at third base. Bonifacio 1 for 3 off the Orioles side armor. Will take the pitch up high, 1-1.
Yeah, he was able to strike him out. He kept a couple of check swings on balls just off the outside corner and finally got him to chase up and away. Big strikeout on Monday night.
1 ball, 1 strike count. And that will be fouled back over the screen by Bonifacio, and it'll stay at 1-2.
Well, Darren Oliver, who pitches in the Jays bullpen, he was teammates with Darren O'Day and with the Angels, and he said, "What is this?" There is Darren, and he says, "Well, what is this all about? This footwork?" He said, "You look a little bit like Mariano Rivera getting yourself set." And he said, "It's all about balance." I mean, watch him right there. I mean, he's just trying to find his balance points before he starts his windup.
And the 1-2 winds its way in, but not called a strike.
Well, it's been a little inconsistent. Gibbons has been yelling. This will get the Orioles dugouts.
Oh, the inhumanity of it all. 2 ball, 2 strike count. O'Day, outfield fairly shallow, and that'll be popped up and soup in the air. Bonifacio gained a fan forever, my grandson. Just how players, the impact they can have on a kid who's 7 years old. And Bonifacio picked up a ball. Grandson had the glove, threw it to him, and played catch with him the other day on the field. Can you imagine? 7 years old. Just played catch with him, then gave him the baseball and signed it. I mean, he's got a fan for life. You'll never forget Emilio Bonifacio. 2-2 delivery, and that's going to be taken up high. So a 3 ball, 2 strike count. Leadoff batter here in the 8th inning.
No, they want him on because he has speed, blazing speed. The amazing thing, he has yet to attempt a stolen base this year, but
Day waiting, and the pitch will be fouled back again. Bonifacio had only a couple of at bats in the first 2 games. Today the Jays find a way to score some runs, but then their pitching lets them down, and their defense, as it has throughout the season. Orioles have an unearned run. Came against Morrow, charged with the 4 runs. Luke charged with the one that tied the ball game up. 3-2 delivery, and the 8th pitch of the at bat fouled off Teagardner.
Yeah, Emilio at home plate doing a nice little job of trying to stay alive. Trying to let it travel, and there you go, corner of the mask.
Teagardner in his 3rd start for the Orioles behind the plate. Waiters the day off, and then we'll be in tomorrow night in Oakland. Day ready. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and another one off him. Stays at 3-2.
Well, that's what 3-2 does when you come out of the bullpen. The amazing thing, and we've seen Darren do it over the last year. In fact, we saw him when he was healthy in Texas, with his ERA was right around 2 runs a game, is that he can just make quality pitches, and it doesn't matter what the circumstances are.
3 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way again, and Bonifacio fights it out to left field. McLeod is over and makes the nice catch.
Yeah, though, Nate McLeod does not have a great arm. Jones can throw, Markakis good throwing arms, but what he can do, and this is why you want a Gold Glove, he can go get the ball. And he can make some really nice plays. And again, it's not an easy play. Ball tailing away. It's bright, sunny. I know we have a couple of, I guess, I don't know what kind of clouds you call those, but high sky. It easily can be extra innings or extra bases if you don't get to it.
Now Bautista stands in. He'll take it for a strike. Bautista got his 5th home run in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game and 1 for 10 in the series. Bautista, with that home run, got out of an 0 for 11 that he was in when he picked it up. He's had a 2 for 8 off O'Day, and both of them have been homers. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 14,981, 14,981 the announced attendance here at Camden Yards for the closing game of this homestand. Great day to be at the ballpark.
Yeah, it seems like it's a larger crowd than that. I mean, they're scattered nicely around the ballpark.
And they've made a lot of noise.
Yeah. Well, T-shirt. T-shirt weather. Contrasting to Monday night when turtlenecks and blankets and gloves and
mucklucks. 1-2 count of Bautista, hitting at 196 now with the 5 home runs and 9 RBIs. Bases empty, 1 out, and Bautista steps out. Outfield deep. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and he takes it inside. So 2-2, the ever careful against the power hitters in this lineup. Encarnacion and Cabrera follow Bautista in the lineup. Smack dab in the middle. 2-2 way outside to him, and a 3-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, you look down there and I start getting some nightmares of going to Boston and facing Rice and Yaz and Lynn and Scott and Fisk. That's the kind of line. I mean, these guys, yeah, well, yeah, they can. You're at Fenway with that wall.
3-2 delivery on the way. Bautista will pop it up. Teagarden trying to find the angle. Boy, for catchers, young catchers, that's how you do it right there. You saw Teagarden step out to the infield grass. He doesn't want the ball to be directly over his head, so he tries to get an angle, goes out on the grass, and then is able to come back and play the ball as it comes down to him.
Yeah, most of those pop-ups have backspin. So, again, if you go into foul territory, it'll end up going back sometimes into fair territory. And if runners run, pop-ups can be doubles.
So here is Encarnacion, another one of the homers today of the 4 that have been hit in the ball game by the Jays. 1 for 3. He's had 2 homers and 4 RBIs in the series.
There's like no outside corner sometimes. I think that Darren O'Day said, well, didn't that ball graze the outside corner? Because if you look at his stat, it's open. In other words, the left leg farther from home plate. He's looking for a ball inside middle. And that was one of them.
Thank goodness for the screen as the bat ends up right off the edge of the screen.
See, so that slider doesn't quite get to the corner, and that's why you see a good swing, and it's straight back, and with it goes the bat. You can just see the full extension, and until you stand next to Edwin Encarnacion, you don't realize how big he is. He's a big guy.
2 down, and the pitch will be taken away. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
So he goes, what, from 17 to 42 home runs. When he was with Cincinnati, he hit 26. The other thing is he walks a lot. And he didn't even, he had 42 home runs and didn't strike out 100 times last year.
That is a rarity, isn't it?
It certainly is.
2-1 delivery, and that's outside. And the count will go to 3-1. Encarnacion this season, he has picked up 16 strikeouts, but he has drawn 10 walks. So a 3 ball, 1 strike count with 2 away. Cabrera waiting on deck. Darren O'Day misses down low, and O'Day will surrender the walk. Each Oriole pitcher, Stinson, Hunter, O'Day has given up a free pass. That puts 1 on with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's almost a pitch around. You know, you look at home plate, you see a run. They've already hit 4 home runs, and you go, not to disrespect Cabrera, he hadn't hit one this year. I'm not going to get beat on a guy that hit 42 home run. Roy Patton's going to start loosening up. I just figured with 2 outs, even though he did steal 13 bases, I'll trust Teagarden and I'll take my chances with Cabrera.
And here is Melky Cabrera with 2 away. And the left-hander goes to right. Nick Markakis right there, and that'll do it. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tied.
5 o'clock here on Madison. This is Tom Davis, joined Dave Johnson, Mel Anthony, and me. We'll wrap up the Orioles-Toronto Blue Jays series. We'll look ahead to the West Coast road trip. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report this afternoon at 5 right here on Madison.
And back here at Camden Yards, ball game tied at 5-5 as the Orioles will come up with some power bats here in the 8th inning to face Darren Oliver.
The 18th year in the major leagues. He's started. He's done just pretty much everything. So, again, he's been around a long time. 42 years old. He'll be 43 in October. His dad, talking on the field yesterday, his dad did some home runs off me. Big, strong right-handed power hitter. But he comes in, and this year much better against righties than against lefties. Lefties are 9 for 17, righties only 2 for 15. And part of that is that he has a little cut fastball, loves to get the ball into the right-handed batters.
Oliver's pitched a lot against the Orioles. This is going to be his 34th game, 12 as a starter. He's got a 6-5 record with a 4.0 earned run average. And the Orioles will bat against Oliver with Jones leading it off. Jones with a single and an RBI. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Adam is 0 for 6 lifetime off Oliver. Loop 2/3 of an inning, a run on 2 hits, and the off-speed delivery is in there for a strike. The Orioles 5-5-0. The Blue Jays 5-5-1. The Orioles do have an unearned run off that error. Orioles have left 4 on base. The Jays have left 3. Orioles are trying to pick up the sweep, and the pitch is taken inside. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Adam Jones. Nick Showalter's team, after their 13th win, they are 12-8. First time they've been 4 over 500. That off-speed pitch again out in front of it.
Yeah, and they are right on the line. Brett Lowry down to third, especially that curveball. He's hugging the line. That makes sure. I mean, great angle right here. He doesn't want a ball hit to his right. And the reason for that, obviously, is because anything to his right is going to be a double. So he'll cheat the line.
Adam 292 off lefties to start the day and did not get a swing.
Well, there it is, and that's why it is so tough. Little cutter. He gets ahead with a couple of breaking balls, and then you just don't see this kind of swing. I mean, see how the ball, he gets on the left side of the ball, and it just cuts in, and then he makes the perfect pitch, and he does it with 2 strikes. If you can see Adam trying to collapse his hands and try to somehow get the bat head to the ball, foul it off, maybe get a base hit. Couldn't do it.
Chris Davis has struck out 3 times in this ball game, and against Oliver puts it up to left field. Rajah Davis will put it away. 2 down in the 8th inning. For every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the Y of Central Maryland's Fit and Fun program. To date, the Orioles have drawn 68 walks for a total of $3,400. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. J.J. Hardy with 2 quick outs, and it's going to be 3. Comebacker. Oliver comes on, and pace may make waste, but not when you're pitching in the 8th for Darren Oliver. 3 up, 3 down, 5-5 to the 9th. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com and by your local BMW Center. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards for this early day game. Where the monuments are. Make sure if you come to Camden Yards near Oriole Park, you go out and visit Monument Park. It's beautiful. That's where the legends are. All 6 of the statues. And we go to the 9th inning. Darren O'Day will stay on and will be working to Aaron Sebia, Rasmus, and Laurie due up. J.P. Aaron Sebia, homer double, and he's grounded out, 2 RBIs, leading the American League now with 8 home runs. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Haven't been many walks in this one. Morrow walked 3, the starter for the Jays. And for the Orioles, 1 each for Stinson, Hunter, and O'Day. 1-0 delivery. Orioles starter, the emergency starter, Josh Stinson. 5 runs, 5 hits, 5 2/3. Tommy Hunter an inning and a third, only 1 walk. And O'Day has come on, working now in his 2nd inning. Aaron Sebia, the 1-1 to him, popped up. No play. Patton has been up previously in the bullpen, so he's ready to go. And we have seen Jansen in this series, and he too warming up.
Yeah, he's the closer.
O'Day with a 1-2 on Aaron Sebia. And that one's fouled back. Nick against Aaron Sebia and a couple of other hitters, he doesn't do this very often, will actually play at an angle in right field, figuring they're not going to push the ball down the line. If they do hit it out there, it's going to go to the gap. So Nick stands at a little bit of an angle where he's looking almost towards left field, so he gets a better jump on a ball into the gap. The reports obviously showing he rarely goes down the line the other way. Nick doesn't do that very often. He's usually straight up on hitters. 1-2.
And also, it seems to me, after watching him now for 6 or 7 years, his strength is going to the foul line. I mean, he goes about as well as anybody. To his left would be our right, looking out at him.
One ball, 2 strike count. And missed just inside.
Well, again, you're just trying to stay out of the power zone, and for Sebia, I mean, he can just hit pretty much any pitch you throw. We saw him hit a high fastball over the center field fence, but we've seen him hit a grand slam on a low fastball. So once again attacks the ball.
Ground ball this time to third, which is going to be foul, and he'll come back. Aaron Sebia, the 0 for 2 against O'Day. He'll take the 8th pitch of this at bat. These foul balls and a 2-2 count. Good ball game. These are the kind of games I think we're going to see all year long in the American League East. These teams have there are holes for every team. There are strengths for every team. Nobody's overwhelmingly that much better, I don't think. I think you're going to have these kind of battles going on all year long in the American League East. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Inside, 3-2.
Yeah, there are going to be days, I guess, when you get a guy like Buchholz off to that 4-0 start, and as you mentioned, Lester 3-0 behind him. Buchholz can, 3 years ago, was probably as good as right-hander, where they may dominate because your guy just may be that much better than theirs. Other than that, it's pretty even.
3-2 delivery on the way, and got him. He tried to work a walk out of that, but no dice.
Well, yeah, you're either going to go to your right and go to first base, or you're going back to the bench. So it's not like, some guys will duck pitches. He's just trying to somehow sneak his way down to first base without Mike Camiro calling him out. But this ball is destined in the rear end, kind of towards their dugout.
It's time to leave. To the applause of the fans, that'll be it for Darren O'Day. Troy Patton coming on. Citi Field in New York is now underway at Orioles.com. You can vote for your favorite Orioles up to 35 times with each valid email address. All fans who vote the maximum 35 will receive a voucher good for $10 off any box seat or $5 off any reserve seat for one of the 3 games against Houston, July 30 through August 1. And one lucky voter's going to win a 2013 All-Star Game jersey autographed by the Orioles All-Stars. So vote early, vote often, and vote orange. Visit Orioles.com today.
So Troy Patton comes in, did give up a run against the Dodgers. He's pitched very well. He thought he was going to get Colby Rasmus, lefty versus lefty, and Mark DeRosa, as he did last night, will come in and pinch hit. Walked last night.
So DeRosa at the plate, facing Patton, and will take the pitch for a strike. Last player added to the roster by the Jays, looking for a veteran leader in the clubhouse, and DeRosa certainly brings that. Here's the 0-1 delivery by Patton down to third. Manny Machado got it. That's in the air.
Yeah, so he hits a line drive, but at the wrong guy. In fact, there's a lot of wrong guys if you're the opposition when you talk about the Orioles defense. But great thing about having the 2 lefties that they have in the Oriole bullpen is they both can get lefties and righties out. Patton actually gets righties out better than lefties, and then the same with Brian Mattis, even though they're both effective against guys that hit from the other side of the plate too.
Now Lowry coming up. He too has power. 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game, and he'll be swinging harder than ever if that's possible for him to do, with 2 down here in the 9th inning and the ball game tied at 5-5.
As we mentioned, he has hit, maybe not this year, but 6 home runs lifetime against the O's in limited at bats.
He is 1 for 5 off Patton, and he's not had a lot of chances against the left-handers. 2 for 9 off lefties coming into the ball game. Lowry 2 down, nobody on. We're in the 9th inning. Orioles came back to tie it up. 3 runs in the 7th. Each team with 5 hits in the game. And that down the line will curve foul.
He reminds me of a little smaller version of Mike Trout. And the reason I say that is because we saw Trout last year and having about as good a year as you can ever have. Just drive balls to right field. And Lowry, first couple of years, that's what he's done against the Orioles. And those are the numbers you talked about. So now you can just pitch out of the zone.
1-2 delivery to him, and yanks that one foul the other way. 1-2 Lowry.
Yeah, for Troy Patton, and he was, before he hurt his shoulder, came over the Miguel Tejada trade from Houston. He was a starting pitcher. In fact, Dean Albany, one of the Orioles scouts who was with the Orioles all spring training, said, I saw him out at Humboldt, Texas, throwing 96 in high school. That's the kind of fastball that Troy Patton had.
1-2 pitch. Lowry's up high.
You can see now it's dropped down, but he does have good movement. He can sink it. Nice little change up to go with a curveball and a slider.
Patton trying to end this inning right here. 2 ball, 2 strikeout on Lowry. And he did. Got that one on the outside corner. Lowry didn't like it, says so to make DeMuro, but that's going to do it here in the 9th inning. Gibbons coming out to protect his player. He'll have a word, and
well, he may go because you can't argue. Cannot argue balls and strikes.
We're away. The manager got the old heave-ho. John Gibbons, who had done a lot of chatting today with Mike DeMuro, the home plate umpire. This is the pitch that Laurie was arguing about, and you can see why he argued.
Well, it went around the plate, and again, wasn't really that pitch. Obviously, he didn't want him called out in a tie ball game, but there were a lot of other pitches, and you could see it coming. And he goes out to protect Brett Lowry, and the minute you linger, as he did, and question whether it was a ball or strike, or tell him how bad he's been all afternoon, you're gone. So there you have it.
So we go to the ninth. The Orioles need one, down to third under Lowry's glove. That's a base hit. Reimold, Oliver stays in to work his second inning of relief, and the Orioles have a base hit. Kawasaki has come on to play at shortstop.
Well, we talked last inning, Gary, about protecting the line. You want to take away the double, especially when you have a guy that throws so many cutters. But when you do that, the routine ball becomes a base hit. Lowry tried to get to it, but again, when you're down the line, to keep away the double, singles, ground balls just go into the left field.
And looking for the bunt. Torres has moved from short to second, and Bonifacio has moved from second to center, with Rasmus coming out for the pinch hitter. So Ryan Flaherty now, 1-0 count. Reimold on at first base. The Orioles trying to win it here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Puts the bunt down. It's a good one. Encarnacion plays it to his Torres. Sacrifice. One away. The potential winning run is on at second. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Text in your vote now, A, B, or C, 31826. Results on the O's Extra post-game show. Taylor Teagarden will come to the plate.
Well, again, if you're wondering where Matt Wieters is, this is a sensible thing to do. He's your second catcher. You're going all the way to the West Coast. Well, if he doesn't play today, you can give him 48 hours off. I'm sure emotionally you'd certainly like to have him in there, but you never know. Every hit he got last year, talking about Taylor, it seemed to win a game.
Teagarden 1 for 1 off Oliver. Leadoff man McLouth is on deck. Orioles now with 6 hits in the ball game. They're looking for their 5th one-run win of the year. 1-0 count. And a big comeback win. Up the middle. Going to be stopped. Shortstop Kawasaki makes the play. Over to third base, Reimold. That close to being over, but Kawasaki got there.
Yeah, again, they did a study on ground balls that are hit over, 59 miles per hour. They seem to get through the infield. That one off the end of the bat. He was able to get to it. Had a nice play. He was the GOAT on Monday night when he threw the ball away.
The Orioles have had 8 comeback wins, tied for the lead in the majors in comeback wins. They're going for their 9th. Runner at third base, 2 down, fans up. Here's McLouth. McLouth, Oliver in for a strike. He's already had a big day. 4 times up and 4 times on. A double, a single, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored in the game for Nate McLouth. 0 for 1 off Oliver. McLouth will foul it back. The Orioles have, with 2 outs, the Orioles have 40 RBIs. They came into the day 5th in the American League. They've added 3 to that, and if they can add another, it'll end the ball game.
And with his speed, tremendous pressure on the defense because of that.
0-2 delivery outside.
There are no routine plays when you have speed at home plate. Every ground ball, you can't linger if you're an infielder. And then again, the numbers we told you about Oliver, again, gets righties out, lefties 9 for 17 coming into this afternoon.
1-2 delivery. McLouth, with that great eye, will take the pitch outside.
Well, Lowry had a pretty good eye too, and he got punched out. And I'm sure the Jays were hoping that pitch was going to be called a strike, and it wasn't.
Nate has had, coming into the game, only 3 chances with a runner in scoring position and 2 out. 0 for 3. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery from Oliver. McLouth takes it, and the count is full. A win and the Orioles will sweep the series and have a homestand of 7-2. And out here, and we move on. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner off third. McLeod. Talk about just keeping an at-bat alive, but he did.
Well, again, we talked about his last hit off of Aaron Loop. He just kind of hit it to left center field, almost got a double. So you just try to keep the front shoulder in. Again, you certainly, if you're a contact hitter with occasional power like Nate, you're just trying to wait for the ball to get as far as it can. You can flick the tough pitches foul.
3-2 delivery, hit in the air towards the gap, but it's going to stay up. Davis is there and hauls it in. And the Orioles are retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A base runner left on at third. Free baseball, part of this day game. 10th inning coming up. Inning ball games, the most consecutive wins in extra innings all time. Pittsburgh Pirates 59-60 at 21. The Orioles right now are at 17, going back through last year and into the one they've put up this year. Then you got to go all the way back to 1949, the Indians, then the Mets and the Indians again. So the Orioles 17 consecutive extra inning wins for Buck Showalter's ball club, and we go to the 10th inning. Troy Patton will stay on. He got final 2 outs in the 9th. Patton will work to Rajah Davis. And Manny Machado. What a stop, and it is a fair ball. Machado diving to the bag, ended up right on top of it, but that's all he was going to be able to do with it, but he will hold him to a single.
Well, again, with Davis's speed, I mean, that's a sure double against all 46 bases, only Mike Trout in the American League, but look at this range. And then your right falls down. You hope he didn't hurt his shoulder as he lands right on the base.
Rajah Davis now with his Taurus. And the slow walk back to the bag. So Troy Patton with Machado moving in. See whether or not they play the bunt here. Slaps at it, broken bat, going to short. Hardy will back up for it and put it away.
Yeah, they bunted last night and gave the Orioles an out. This time they try to hope that Davis will be able to put a ball in play. And of course, he's yet to walk this year, so you know he's going to be swinging.
So there's 1 out, leaving his Taurus on at first. That'll bring up Bonifacio. Bonifacio's had an 0 for 4 in the game and an 0 for 6 overall.
Yeah, a little better hitter from this side. This is his natural side, and
we'll take the pitch for a strike. Orioles closer in the bullpen. Bonifacio 182 right, 186 left this season. And we'll foul that one off. Bonifacio moving from second base to center field in the game, with Rasmus coming out for a pinch hitter in the ninth inning. Double barrel action in the bullpen. Rogers and Jansen. Jansen's been up once. 0-2 count. Patton's delivery to him, and got him on the inside corner in another argument. You see DeMuro going, get out of here. And Gibbons already thrown out, the manager.
That's his strikeout. It's his strike zone, and take a look again. It's apparently close enough. Thrown right to the glove.
And that will be it for Troy Patton. So Patton came on to work inning and a third. As Buck Showalter gets the matchups, Jim Johnson will come out of the pen with a runner on and 2 down. Orioles action. The Birds are heading west, 11 games, 11 days, opening up in Oakland. Jason Hamill takes the mound against Jared Parker. Our coverage on MASN 2 HD will begin at 9:30. Those Extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 10. All the access you need right here on MASN.
So Jim Johnson comes on, not a save situation. I would imagine that bring him in with 2 outs, try to get out of the inning and win it in the bottom of the inning. Batista got 3 for 8 lifetime off him, no home run. In fact, nobody in this roster has ever hit a home run off of Jim Johnson. And again, very good speed over at first. Sturris stole 17 bases, only caught twice last year.
Bautista with a home run in the 6th inning, his 5th of the year, 1 for 4. His only hit in the series. Vying for another one right there, fouls it off, and quickly it's 2 strikes. So Jim Johnson making his 29th appearance against the Jays, 1-1 record. More importantly, of course, the saves that Jim's been able to pick up against them. 9. 0-2 count. Bautista will take it down low. We are in the 10th inning, ball game in which the Orioles had to battle back. Jays got the first 3 runs. Had the early lead in the game. The Orioles made it 3-1. Then it was 4-1, 4-2, and the Orioles just battling for 3 in the 7th. That tied it up. And outside by Johnson. It's been the home run ball used by the Jays, 4 of them. Raja Davis, Aaron Sebia, Encarnacion, and Bautista. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And a silo shot coming back. Teegarden And that'll be just over the fence and a couple of rows back.
Now, he's such a good high ball hitter. It is very difficult to get in on him. Get down. One hit to right field. 7 to left, 3 to center. A pronounced pull hitter. In fact, Encarnacion, who waits on deck, has yet to get a hit to right field. Inside middle guys with tremendous power.
Jim Johnson with a 2-ball, 2-strike count off. Bautista stepping out. Esturras started it off with a base hit. Complexion changed in the inning. Machado had a great stop to hold him to a single. Bautista fouls it off. Otherwise, it would have been a runner at second base leading it off. And the count at 2-2. O'Day worked an inning in the third, gave up 1 walk. Tommy Hunter an inning in the third, 1 walk. Josh Stinson, the emergency starter, 5 runs, 5 hits in the ball game in just his second major league start. Grounded towards the hole, played by Machado, and there's the out. So top of the 10th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Now the Orioles will again look for that 1 to win it as we go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. Than any other team in the league. Their strikeouts coming in 8th in the American League. Last year they were 3rd, so they've done a good job cutting that. And Manny Machado, with the runners on this season, he has had 10 RBIs with 2 out. Last year he had a total of 4, and Machado today has added to that. He's picked up another 2-out RBI, and he's going to hit here.
Yes, Mel Rogers, we saw him last night. Again, the guy they got last year. He escaped Colorado, where he really struggled. Some sort of scriptures or something behind the mound to get ready to pitch. Again, nice little arm, 93, 94, with a little slider to go with it. Done a nice job for him so far. And you can see already 11 1/3 innings, almost a hit in an inning.
Well, let's see if there's some more Manny magic here as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Machado, he's had a triple, the Orioles' first of the year, and an RBI with 2 down. Reached on an error that set up an unearned run that obviously has helped the Orioles. Hitting at 267, and Rogers' pitch will be outside for a ball. So Machado with an active series. He has picked up 4 hits in this series in 10 at bats with 3 RBIs. 1-0, bottom of the 10th, 5-5 ball game. And Machado will pop that one back. And that will be on the top of the dugout. Oliver worked 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, had 1 strikeout. Luke worked 2/3 of an inning, a run on 2 hits. Tomorrow their starter, 4 runs, 3 earned, just 3 hits over 7 1/3 innings. Both of the starters non-decision. 1-1 count on Machado. Rogers' delivery to him, and that will be taken for a strike.
So again, they get him from the Indians, who had gotten him from Colorado, and he does have an arm. I mean, that pitch, and it's an easy 95, 96. And then he's got the slider to go with it.
1-2 delivery and off the end of the bat.
And then again, that's one of those situations where he's been coming. He'll set from the position, and then sometimes he'll just use it as a windup. So there was no hesitation, and what he's trying to do is just fool the hitter, which is kind of what pitching is all about. What you can't do is deceive the base runner, but you can't do that when there's a runner on.
Always deceive the hitter, though.
Yeah. Well,
or try. 1-2. That's going to go towards the gap and fall in for a base hit. So Machado's got his second hit of the ball game. And the Orioles lead off their half of the 10th inning with a runner.
Yeah, he just seems, when they make a mistake, and this is what good hitting's about. Saw it over the weekend. You know, off of Beckett, he missed a good curveball. He hung one, hit a double down into the corner for an RBI. You know, hung a cutter, hit a 3-run home run. You hang a slider, which is what Rogers did. He just flicks it into right center field.
Now Nick Markakis coming up. Markakis, RBI and a fielder's choice. 0 for 4 officially. Would you bunt Markakis?
Well, I don't know.
At third.
Yeah, they really are.
Lowry's moved in. Markakis not bunting, tried to slice it over his head. And Nick with a 1-strike count. Markakis in his major league career has had 4 sacrifices. The last one was in 2007. And he had 3 in 2006.
Well, he's certainly looking down at Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach for the Orioles, just to see if the sign is on. You know, ideally, this is a tough park to do it, but you'd like to hit a ground ball in the right field and get the runner to third. But such a small ballpark, it's sometimes difficult to do that, especially if you hit it sharply. But there is that huge hole. I mean, this nice little alleyway out here for Nick. Except you have a guy throwing 95, 96, and if he does. If Pitt does his job, he's going to try to throw the ball on the outside quarter of the plate and make it almost impossible for Nick to do that.
1 for 2 off Rogers for Markakis. Lowry now backs up at third base, believing Markakis is not going to bunt. He'd been on the grass, now back at third. Adam Jones waiting on deck. 0-1 count. Machado off first base. Markakis, great pitch down and away, a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, that'll work. 94. Again, that's a hard pitch to pull.
The Orioles have won 9 of the last 11 games against the Blue Jays that they've played here at Camden Yards. Great success against them last season, especially here in this ballpark. They've won the first 2 in this series. Markakis jammed a little bit, popped it up. Lowry going back. And in foul territory will make the catch. 1 out. Well, the Orioles can't get the runner down to second on that at bat, and that'll bring up Adam Jones.
Well, let's see if Adam gets a fastball to hit. Comes in hitting .313 on fastballs and .273 on curveballs, and changeups goes down to .253. So we'll see if Rogers thinks he can get the fastball by Adam Jones.
RBI single in the first inning, 1 for 4. 3 for 12 in the series. Adam hitting at .349, now has 16 runs batted in on the year. Continues to move around in that top 10 of RBIs. And the throw over almost gets away.
Well, yeah, you're hoping that that's going to be the case, Gary, because Manny Machado has attempted 1 stolen base. He's been successful. And if you do your homework, a lot of young guys out of the bullpen don't do that. That's when JP Arancibia says, hey, let's get Adam Jones out. Otherwise, this game's going to end right here. You can throw over all you want. I don't think Manny's going to run, even though the numbers are good against Arancibia and his pitching staff.
Adams starting the day second in hits, and again quick throw over Rogers.
Yeah, it's not an exceptionally big lead. That's one of the things, if you're right-handed, it is very difficult. But that's why you need to get a little help from your first baseman. Eddie Murray used to be very adept at that. Boog Powell. What kind of lead are they actually getting?
A short one.
Yep.
Oh, the count here. Jones waiting for the first pitch with one out.
Yeah, he throws one into Manny Machado. In other words, one into the runner. It's going to go down into the corner. And I'm not saying to give him a big lead and let him steal, but again, his track record is not that he does a lot of running. But the most important thing for Manny is that good secondary lead. Once the pitch is thrown, score on a double.
Jones will put it up in the air to right field. Bautista lost it, and he dropped it. Runner's going to second base, and we'll get there. Bautista lost that. He had it, and then it disappeared, and he could not find it in time.
You know, I mean, it was bright and sunny when the game started. There are high clouds, and you know, there is a little bit of sun, and right there you can just see, and off the end of the glove. So Manny goes halfway, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. And it's the old adage, you can't catch what you can't see, and makes a nice effort to try to do it.
Boy, this defense, for whatever reason, is really failing Toronto. There is the second error that they've had in the ball game. Error number 16 on the year. They've already given up one unearned run.
Yeah, I don't think that should be scored an error, but it's still an extra base, if you know what I'm talking about.
Here's Davis, runners at first and second. Chris Davis trying to pound one, just trying to get the game winner in. Manny Machado at second base, representing the game winner for the Orioles against Rogers.
Yeah, let's see if they read the bat. He's a little bit late on the fastball. That seems like Ismael Rogers' best pitch, even though he does have some secondary pitches.
A lot of chances today, 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position for the Orioles. Davis, 3 strikeouts and a fly ball out. That will be all forgotten if he can get a game winner right here. Kawasaki holding the runner close at second. Davis, a fly ball. They're all interesting, though, the way this D's been playing. And that'll be hauled in by Bonifacio playing in center. And there are 2 down. So Davis upset with himself that he couldn't get the game winner. And that'll bring up J.J. Hardy.
Now he came back with a slider and he popped it up. It's a nice little test. J.J. Hardy, good fastball hitter, fastball pitcher on the mound.
Hardy 1 for 5 off Rogers. Rogers on to work the 10th for the Jays. Machado will get a good lead at second. 2 down here. And Hardy will take it inside for a ball. Orioles in the ball game have left 5. The Jays have left 4. Orioles 7th inning comeback, 3 runs, 3 hits, aided by a 1-out walk to Reimold that started it. And now trying to get their 9th comeback win of the year. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Hardy will take a strike. Bonifacio playing a fairly shallow center field at this point in the ball game, giving himself a chance to throw on anything in front of him. Hardy will foul it back.
Yeah, this kid does have a good arm. As he came through the Colorado and organization, they actually, started a number of games for the Rockies, and then eventually ended up in the bullpen exactly where he did for Cleveland last year, and now with the Jays. And now all of a sudden the slider comes into play with this count.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Machado off second. Hardy will take it, and it misses. 2-2.
And there it was. It's a good one. Reminds you a little bit of Pedro Strop slider.
Orioles with a 4-3 win in the ball game last night. A 2-1 win in the opener, and now perhaps another one-run ball game. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and Hardy's going to do it. Base hit. Here comes Davis. Here comes the run. Davis's thrower, and Sebia the tag. He got him. They get the out at the plate. Raja Davis up with the throw as he'd moved in that couple of steps he needed to give him a chance to get it to the plate. Aaron Sebia right there, and no question, there was nowhere to go, and Machado's retired for the third out. We go to the 11th inning based on that play. 5-5. There are the numbers each pen has put up today.
Yeah, J.J. Hardy, big mistake. Hit it too hard. And then Davis, what a throw. Early in the game, he actually made a strong throw, had no bearing on the game. It was almost like he was warming up for the 10th. Perfect throw, perfect tag. Actually, perfect at bat by J.J. Hardy. J.J. Johnson. Jimmy Johnson comes on after getting Batista in the last inning. So there's the culprit, Raji Davis. Could have won it in the 10th.
All right, Encarnacion will lead it off, and he will take the pitch inside for a ball. Encarnacion, Cabrera, Aaron Sebia due up. Jim Johnson working to just that one hitter in that last inning. Encarnacion has an 0 for 7 lifetime off Jim, and the pitch is there for a strike. So we go on. Ironically, is to some degree at least, here's this defense of the Blue Jays that has just let them down so many times, including in this ball game. And how do they stay alive with a great defensive play? The cloth is there on the liner. Encarnacion's retired.
Yeah, the rocket to left. And of course, the Orioles are hoping that again, if you go back to one of their many extra inning games, one of the more dramatic in the 16th inning in Fenway, they throw out Marlon Byrd, and then that's the Darnell McDonald against Chris Davis, the two pitchers, and Adam Jones hit a home run. And it kind of kick-started the Orioles a little bit. Maybe that's going to be what the Jays need. The Orioles, of course, hope that's not the case.
Orioles had their extra inning win this season against Tampa Bay in that grand slam walk-off hit by Wieters in the 10th inning. This one, though, is in the 11th. And a chopper towards second base. Flaherty's got it. Rights himself.
It's a pretty black and white business when you're on the road. Especially when the winning run is at second base. If you don't make the throw, the game's over, and if you do, you got a chance. Davis made it. Last year it was Hardy with the great relay play to throw out Marlon Davis. Otherwise, the Orioles lose in 16. So sometimes the game is pretty simple.
J.P. Aaron Sebia, the catcher. First two at bats, very productive. His 8th home run in the 2nd inning, good for 2 RBIs, a double in the 4th. He's had a 2 for 4 in the ball game. 2 down, nobody on, 11th inning. Arancibia with a 1 for 5 off the Oriole closer, who's trying to obviously get a win in this ball game. And the 0-1 inside tied him up, but missed. 1-1. Fans take a breath. The 1-1 and a chopper fouled off. Orioles and Oakland both will be flying cross country today, with Oakland playing in Boston to wrap up that series in the rubber match. For some reason, it is a 4 o'clock ball game. So the Orioles maybe will beat them to the West Coast. Maybe. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Arancibia bloops that one. Jones coming, and that'll be in for a base hit. So Arancibia's got a 3-hit ball game. Single, 11th inning with 2 down. And that will bring up Kawasaki. Kawasaki's going to get his first at bat. Came on to play shortstop. He's played in the leadoff spot for this team of late.
Well, this would be Rasmus, or it would be DeRosa, but Troy Patton got Rasmus out of the game. So,
ooh, whoa, gosh. Almost took out the on-deck batter Lowry, and then the corner of the dugout and the stands there.
Well, you know, I asked John Gibbons today, you know, why is Kawasaki playing? You know, you had some other choices. He said he really has had some good at-bats.
Kawasaki's going to get a base hit the other way.
Yeah, there we go, and that's what he did against the Yankees up in Toronto. Well, finally gets a ball up and just stays with it. And that gets Lowry to the plate.
He had an 0 for 9 prior to that base hit, and now the power hitter Lowry will come up. Lowry with runners at first and second base. Lowry a 1 for 5 off Johnson in this ball game. 0 for 3 and a walk. 3 RBIs on the year. Lowry, as we said, really an extended spring training here because of the injury that took him out. Only 2 rehab games. They needed him back because while he was at rehab, Bautista was not going to be able to play for a couple of days, so they really needed his bat in the lineup, so they brought him back. So he's getting into shape here at the major league level as a hitter. The delivery hits him, and they're loaded. But there are 2 down. So Jim Johnson with a hit batter, and his Turris, the number 9 hitter, coming up with a 1 for 2 off Johnson. Brian Mattis, the Orioles left-hander, getting ready. 20 pitches thrown by Jim Johnson since coming on.
Yeah, that's what they were a little bit afraid of. Back-to-back ball games now, and the pitch count mounting. Turris actually in the 9th inning last night of the save. His 8th straight this season. Hit a line drive back up the middle for a base hit.
Johnson hitting his first batter of the year and up high with both pitches, and a 2-0 count on his Turris.
You know, you got to throw him a strike, and he knows it.
No place to put him with the bases loaded and 2 down. Turris has had a couple of hits, 8 at bats in the series. 2-0 delivery to him, and that's outside, and 3 in a row now, and Turris has got a chance to stay and watch. Longer than he wanted Jim Johnson to have to be in the ball game as a result of the 2 singles and a hit batter here in the 11th. 3-0 delivery. His Turris is on, and a run is in. 4 in a row out of the strike zone, and an RBI for his Turris, bringing home Arancibia, who had the single, and the Jays are on top here in the 11th inning. And that will be it for Jim Johnson. Bases will remain loaded. Raja Davis at the top of the order, and the left-hander Brian Mattis will come on, and Jim Johnson leaves the ball game with a run in here in the 11th inning. In the 11th, here's Ryan Mattis.
Yeah, well, trying to keep it exactly where he is. He's been very effective. We saw that last night. Threw the ball tremendously. So again, you gave up a run, but you want to keep it there, give the guys a chance to win. And of course, the Jays have to be pretty pleased. Davis, who made the great throw to keep the game from being over, will hit with the bases loaded.
Aisha Davis, sacks full, 2 down, a run in as Torres picked up the RBI on the walk. And Davis with a 3 for 13 lifetime against Brian Mattis. Now is Torres 4 straight out of the strike zone to get his 3rd RBI of the year. 1-0 count. And that will be foul back. Davis back in the leadoff spot today. The home run came in the 3rd inning, his first of the year. Great defensive play Jim was talking about to prevent the Orioles from winning it. And now a chance to increase the 1-run lead. One ball, 1 strike delivery to him up the middle. That's going to go to second. Flip for the force out, and they will get it. Flaherty to Hart. But a run in on a couple of hits. Bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning with the Jays up by 1. Is loaded walk in the 11th, and the Orioles will face the closer of the Jays.
Yeah, he's been very good. Watched him pitch over the weekend. The more you see him pitch, he's not overpowering, but he makes fabulous pitches, able to keep the the ball down. A little shoulder surgery, a little cleanup, so it was a slow spring for him. But 22 out of 24 when he assumed the closer role last year. This year, again, he's been very effective. And the Orioles need at least a run to tie. And when you start looking at numbers, the Orioles did hit him for home runs. There are some guys with very good numbers against him. Reimold, no one who led off. He's only been up 3 times, 1 for 3, and the one hit being a home run. But he can paint.
So Casey Janssen stands in against the Orioles, and the pitch will be inside. Janssen has a 5-4 record lifetime against the Orioles. He's 2 for 4 in save opportunities. This is the 38th game he has appeared in against the Orioles. We're in the bottom of the 11th with the Jays trying to avoid the sweep and protect the 1-run lead. Each team has 8 hits in the ball game. Each team has left 7 on base. Reimold walked and scored in the 7th inning, and a swing on the pitch away. 1-2.
Little cut fastball, slider, a little cutter that looks like it's going to be close to the strike zone and just veers away. Boy, does he look ready.
Right-handers have not had a hit off him. They are 0 for 10. Left-handers 3 for 14. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Reimold, that'll be in the dirt.
Well, you go back to early April. Nolan, a game winner off of Jansen, and then Wilson Bettamy, who's on the disabled list for the Orioles. He hit one down the right field line to tie the game up. The Orioles were able to win those ball games up in Toronto.
Trying to make a winner out of Rogers, who came on, worked an inning, couple of hits, and got him.
Yeah, again, just a cutter at the hip, trying to bring it back. You have a front door. You got the back door. If you're throwing to a lefty, if you're right-handed, throw it at him. So the movement on that ball just comes back, hits pretty much the inside third of the plate.
That will bring up Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty has faced him once, 0 for 1. 1 down in the 11th inning. Flaherty. Teegarden due up. Nobody in the on-deck circle yet. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Tough ball game. Orioles 3 in the 7th to come back to tie this up after they had trailed in the ball game, with the Jays getting the first run of the game. Orioles tied it, and Jays getting the second run in the 4th inning, another in the 6th. The Orioles just kept battling. Looks like Chris Dickerson will come out in the on-deck circle. That ball's going to be blooped. That should be a base hit. No, it is caught. Wow, Bonifacio coming away with an outstanding diving catch on that looper to right center field.
Well, 14 errors, 2 today, and then the Davis throw, and all of a sudden the Jays doing things that you expect them to do. Nice little tumbling grab. And your center fielder, the Kobe Rasmus, who started the game, out of the game.
Your starting second baseman playing in center, which he has done. So 2 down, and here's Dickerson. Dickerson up 2 away in the 11th. Pinch hitting for Taylor Teegarden. And Dickerson will take the strike on the inside corner. 1 hit, 7 at-bats.
Well, you'd almost think Mariano Rivera is pitching the way that he's getting the ball to cut. Nothing straight.
Jansen will miss on that one. Jansen is after save number 6 on the year. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Check swing. Did he go? Yes.
Ooh. I'm not really sure he did swing at that. He started, but again, Chris Dickerson pretty strong. It just looked where the bat head. Let's see if that's what. Close enough. Again, if you're down at third base, easy to make that call. I thought he checked it a little bit more, but once again, a cutter right in on the fist.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Dickerson. And that pitch will be away. Toronto looking for their first win in extra innings. They're 0-2. The Orioles 1-0 with that streak of extra inning wins on the line. If the Jays are trying to end with 1 more out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a timeout asked for at the plate.
I thought one of the great quotes from last night's game, R.A. Dickey, said moral victories don't count on the win column. So while we came back, we played a little bit better, and everything changes if they win today, because they did make the plays, at least the last couple of innings.
Fouled off by Dickerson. And you never know. I mean, this could be a turning point for them. They go on to New York, but it may be one of those games where they find themselves a little bit. They hit the home runs. They finally started to play D.
Well, again, it turned the Orioles season around. Throwing out Marlon Byrd allowed them to win in the next inning. Could be the same thing for the Jays. But you got to think they're a better team than the one that came in at 8-13.
And that's the ball game. So the Orioles do not gain the sweep, as the comeback will go for naught. The win will go to Rogers onto the bullpen. Jim Johnson will take the loss, and Jansen will pick up the save. And the Orioles' consecutive extra inning win streak is ended. Tomorrow, 11-11 out west. Game 1, Oakland. Jason Hamill, Jared Parker will go. Coverage 9:30. Masson 2, O's Extra, presented by Jeep. Followed by our game action at 10. Final score here, 1-11, 6-5, the Jays. This has been a Masson presentation. Jim and Rick standing by. O's Extra, presented by PNC. Coming up right now. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew, we'll see you from Oakland tomorrow night. Adieu.